What's going on, teamers? Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy Varney, today in the studio with my boys Mike and Dan. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on?
What's up?
It's been a while since Mike's been on here.
I was like, Mike and Dan, not Adrian and Dan like last time.
It's been a fucking long ass time. I've been traveling. I was away on vacation. I got really sick that one week. It was just, I was getting screwed over left and right trying to
You're still getting screwed over. What are you talking about? You were sitting on the highway for how many hours yesterday?
I think it was 7 or 8 hours yesterday. I got home at 1 in the morning.
Hey, yo. Long distance relationships overrated. I don't know. Shit.
Not if it's with the right person.
Oh, my God.
This is true. If it is for the right person, we can go through
my future wife
anything.
we're talking about here. Why we wait? What's up?
That was a strong one right there.
We can't call her my future wife.
It's been so long since we've spoken, I guess. Like, we didn't even know that you were like planning to like marry this girl.
Oh, I mean, not yet. You know, you gotta wait a few more years for that
This motherfucker said I'm gonna wait a few more years, but he's already envisioning the whole future. It's the house in North Carolina. He's gonna have 3 Maseratis and
3 Maseratis. I don't know. 3 Maseratis. We can sell those 3 Maseratis. I'll take 1 Porsche, please.
He's gonna have his Porsche.
I'll take a GT3 RS.
I mean, that's talking real money, but I guess that is less money than 3 Maseratis.
I think it'd probably work out to the same, maybe.
I mean, you know,
crazy.
If it's for the one that you love trumps all. Am I right, boys?
Oh my God. Let's move on.
Anyways, today this podcast is brought to you by. It's brought to you by nobody. Who am I kidding? We're not sponsored by anybody. Bandai's never going to sponsor us because half of the reason is because of me, and the other half is because of us. So the blame is like half and half. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I may curse a lot. You know, I may be vulgar, but like that's only half of the story.
The blame is like
Bandai the other half of the time.
99% all you, Barney.
I'd say no. Yeah, I mean,
he's like tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, you know what? This episode is sponsored by DigiGuard United. If you've never heard of them, they're just a few guys who do some Digimon stuff. You know, we got a shout out from this anonymous post on Facebook today. So shout out to the anonymous poster.
Damn, we're making it a little bit in the world, huh?
I know, right? The Anon posts are talking about us, and now I'm like, all right, cool. Now I actually kind of like Anon posts.
Hey, yo, Anon posts. If you're gonna keep talking about us like that, keep on doing your thing.
Right? That's what I'm saying, right? Anyways, today, y'all know, so we've been talking about it for the last, I want to say like 3 weeks or so. We had our giveaway that we were doing for hitting the 500 subscriber mark. Today, as it stands right now, currently, we are at like 738 subscribers. So Correct. From hitting the 500 subscriber mark, I want to say in December, we've grown like 250 some subscribers. So,
yeah, something crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. For
feels kind of good.
Yeah. It does. Hey. It feels amazing. Let me tell you.
Hey, yo, Mike, this list though, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you looking at my Buellstar cope right now?
The cope is real.
Yes.
Mike, bro, tell me. All right, so cope. Hear me out. That list, right? If you're looking at this list, tell me you couldn't win a regional if you dodged every single bad matchup and every single person bricked. You could win.
Did you just hear that right there? If every single person brick, and if you miss every bad matchup, you can win.
Hell yeah, yes sir.
You know what else you can win with?
That's everybody. You know Marvin's Machines can win
with? No, forget about Marvin's Machines. If every person bricks, you could just play 50 card Eosmon, call it a day.
Yeah.
50 card Eosmon would go so hard in that scenario.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Go so hard.
Just you know what? Even better. Hard. Play 50 card 80
Deadmon. 50 card
Venmon. 50 card Venmon would go crazy, bro. That would be so good too.
But why? What is it doing? It's not doing anything. It's just...
It doesn't have to do anything, Varney, all right? It's provocative. It's what the people want.
Wow.
I don't think that's the right use of terminology.
No. It's what the people
Venmon
want.
is most certainly... This right back here, that's provocative. This thing? This Hatsune Miku, that's like somewhat provocative. Venmon?
No. Venmon's what the people will trust.
Venmon's a bug-eyed looking
I'm the
motherfucker.
people. I'm the people. That's what we want.
You are Major BL Starkle.
Okay, no. It's actually not a bad list. All right, so here's the thing.
It's not
you
a bad
just
list
have to
because
run. You have to run 4 cards that cost $200 to make it somewhat playable. At one point during the reiteration of this list, for anyone listening to this podcast, I'll walk you through it. I was main decking 4 Sistermon Blanc.
Yep. You want to talk about cope? That's 4 Sistermon Blanc right there.
4 Raremon, the restricted scatter mode, and the restrictive Garuru X. We cut the Blancs down.
Don't forget about the restricted Gabumon from starter deck and the restricted Gabumon from BT.
We are also running all the restricted Gabumons, yeah.
How many 1-ofs are you running in that deck?
There's a lot. But
if 1-ofs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1-ofs.
How many of those are restricted? Like 6 of them?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Look, if Bloom can do it, why can't I do it?
Because Bloom's a good deck.
This could be an okay deck, maybe. I'm putting it in pilot oriented in my tier list in my head.
Just like we should have put Gallimon in pilot oriented, right?
I don't want to talk about that. I misspoke. I apologize.
I didn't
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Let's get
actually, I agree with Dan. I'm fucking sticking my ground. There's actually the only way that man fucking won is he Crimson Blazed the fuck out of every single one of his opponents because I cannot believe that.
That's the half of the game, bro. That's half of the game. Anyways,
crazy world.
You know how he won, bro? You remember that metaphorical situation I said with this deck could top regional, my Beelstar Cope deck? That's how he won his regional, bro.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I think they showed his rounds and he versed legit everything that he could be. Too. That's the funny part, I believe.
I was watching Risu the Squirrel. Shout out to Risu the Squirrel. He's kind of taken the place of Eggman, and as Eggman has stopped doing Digimon like content, specifically the overviews of tournaments, Risu the Squirrel has taken that up. And they said they talked to the Gallimon winner, I think, and he basically said, yeah, I didn't play a lot of my bad matchups, one of the worst being Red Hybrid. So he definitely had favorable matchups, but that's half of the game. Favorable matchups. So, it still takes skill to pilot to I think it was either 6 or 7 rounds.
Yeah,
6-0 was it?
It wasn't the normal like regional rounds. It felt like too. It felt like it was a little bit smaller for theirs. I don't know why.
Still, a minimum of 12
still good,
max of 18 games won. That's still a feat for sure. But before we go on and talk about that,
there's this one guy I know. He topped a regional with Examon. And I think that this is kind of a similar situation.
Absolutely not, because Gallimon is dog. Never mind. Examon was a good deck back then. That's a 1.5 deck. You know what I'm saying? Gallimon is a tier 3 deck, realistically,
Yo, don't be talking bad about my Royal Knight Binder over there.
Yo, my guy had the power of God and anime on his side for real, though.
Nah, that's Vinny.
Did Vinny just win a regional? Because this guy just won a regional. He has the power of God and anime.
Fair point.
I just think that it just so happens this format is kind of like a little favorable for Gallimon, just because like, all right, you got Numon as a rush deck that can blow him up.
Every format is favorable for Gallimon.
Absolutely not. Never.
Every format is favorable for Gallimon until it's not. It's like, oh, here's this rush and go wide deck. Gallimon is Strunks. Where is Gallimon 3 sets later? Still at the bottom tables with the rest of the decks.
Hey, 3 sets later for Gallimon, they get the Digimon Ace, and that card's actually good.
Yeah. Plus Crimson Mode Ace. That's better than the old Crimson Base.
Well, we're not there yet, but Digimon Ace are now.
Anyways, locals. I didn't go. I was busy. Mike was stuck on the side of the highway.
I was stuck on the side of the highway. I was literally coming to locals, and then my car decided to hate it.
The universe intervented. They stage an intervention. Is that the way I say that?
PSA announcement. If you have AAA, cancel your fucking AAA, bro. I was stuck on the side of the road for 3 hours waiting for a tow truck, bro. Yo. I call these people. They're like, oh, yeah, we'll get someone out to you. And then I know how AAA works because if they say they're getting a tow truck, it's going to be 2 hours. So I stay on their asses because I've had lots of cars break down on me. And I'm like, every 30 minutes, I'm like calling. I'm like, yeah, what's the update? What's the update? They're like, we're still looking. Bro, 3.5 hours later, they're like, yeah, it turns out we can't tow you. Bro, y'all should have told me that 3.5 hours ago.
Say it right. The guy came out, and then he said he wasn't going to tow you back, and that they had to get a different truck to come and tow you. And then they told you that they wasn't going to tow you the 100-some miles.
Yeah, and then I had to call a private tow truck for $800.
Yo, that's
so 1 in the morning.
So it's not just like, oh, like they fucked him because they didn't want to tow him. No. They sent somebody out after he said I'm stranded, and then they said, all right, I'm not towing you. We gonna get somebody else to do it. And then got nobody else to do it. And then AAA said, fuck you. So they both said, fuck you. So you got double fucked.
Everyone kind of said, fuck me that day. Doesn't matter. I got home at 1 in the morning. I put together my fucking Mega Zoo deck, which is cool. We're vibing. We're living life. Dan, how was your locals experience?
Oh my god!
He wasn't stranded on the side of the road.
It didn't sound like he was having a good time at local. I think he might have rather been stranded.
I guess I had a better night than you with that aspect, but went to locals. It wasn't many people. It was 6 people. A six person tournament. Depressing. Anyways, I was running the Dark Masters Omni Zoo deck. I realized prior to even like yesterday, I have some ratios to update, and I didn't do it yet. So I felt the issues even more because I played it a lot more on Sunday. But yeah, I went, what was it, 1 and 2, I think it was. It was probably the most frustrating tournament I've ever been in. I don't know if it's because like personal issues plus this or whatever that's happening, just a combination of things. I don't know. But yeah, when people don't know their own effects and then they tell you their effects afterwards, when like is already 2-3 plays later, is literally the most frustrating thing that can like happen, because like you know what might is supposed to happen or doesn't happen, and then they go, oh wait, this is supposed to happen, and then it's like, come on dog, like you should have said this, you know, like 3 turns ago. Case in point number 1, round 1, I played against Black or Greymon / just Greymon Toolbox. Yeah, War Grey Ace in it. Anyways, he goes Metal Greymon X, and then goes into, I think, like Black or Greymon. Didn't announce anything. Didn't announce a pop or anything. Because I couldn't have anything to pop, which just makes sense, right?
Which Metal Grey X?
BT11.
Okay.
So then I go, all right, cool. I raise Machine Jamon. I swing effect to Digivolve 2. He goes and Digivolves 2. I was like, huh, okay. Doesn't say anything about it, right? I go into, I don't know, maybe Mercy Mode or something. I don't remember what I went into to kill the rest of the stack, right? After I do it, he goes, oh, I have protection. What do you mean protection? I have Digital protection. I was like, of course, yeah. I mean, you should know that. You should know what your protections are, right? You would think. That came up, And then X Anybody combo with something else came up, and I'm just like, bro, how do you not notice? This is standard War Greymon stuff. It's just, I was like, all right, whatever. And then he had the most godlike security as well. He had Hades Force in it. He had X Anybody in it. He had training boosts in it. He had, not training boosts, mem boosts as it was. Tamers galore and security. Stack security. I'm surprised I won that. Round 2, I play against someone who's playing Oriyumon D Police. And that was probably so frustrating for me because he knows the deck but doesn't know how to play it fully yet. And many times it went like this. Attack, cool. Something happened and then I go ace. And he goes, oh wait, I was supposed to do something with your Digimon. Come on. Now I'm already full counter blasting. I already have effects that's popping up. Now you tell me you have effects.
You are past
the point of doing
effects.
And I'm just he does it anyways. I'm just looking at him like I'm like, whatever, sure, go ahead. And then his Saryumon has like an all turns if a Digimon is suspended, unsuspend. So he did not do that he did not do that frequently. So I thought there was like a more condition to it than just that. And he did it once. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. Another time passed by, he didn't do it. I'm just like, all right. So like, I'm thinking like, I'm totally like Yu-Gi-Oh brain. I was Yu-Gi-Oh brain Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
like,
straight up.
I didn't read the effects at all. The only thing I was reading was legit.
Your average Yu-Gi-Oh player.
I was legit reading the top card. So the top card was like, if it was Cesario at that moment, I read the top part. I didn't read Inheritable. If it was Oriyumon, I read Oriyumon. And that was it. That's all I cared about. Especially like Dark Masters Megazoo. You kind of don't care for most things. But when it came to this, certain things really mattered because he ends up taking the game because he tells me about how I go blast, I go Mega Gargo, blast, suspend, because he did not after the Saryumon effect consistently. I suspended something, and then I was like, all right, cool. I block because this is for game, so he gets his overflow. Sure, no problem. He goes, sits there for like probably 3 minutes, does something else, and then he was like, oh wait, this Commandmon cannot suspend. I looked at him, I was like, you're not fucking serious right now. I was like, you're kidding me. And so I let it go through. And I was like, sure, you got the game. Game 2 comes because of what happened in game 1. After game 2 happened, anytime he will swing, I'm like, is that all your effects? Are you sure that's all your effects? I'm gonna ask one more time. Is this all your effects? Because prior to this, you were gaslighting me on these effects, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, I had this effect to happen, and I'm just like, he was like, all right, I'm good, all right, cool, because I'm about to blast and about like f your board up or do something that's gonna affect the board state, and so he was like, oh wait, hold on then. I'm like, what? Like, come on. Like, why? I get that you don't understand the deck fully, but like, bro, read your damn cards. And he was like,
nice
oh, you didn't,
Dan out here.
You didn't know Ibanmu was effect. No, I knew the effect. I knew you can't unsuspend on your unsuspend. So I said you can't unsuspend. That's all I said. And then he was like, oh, but you didn't say the unsuspended phase for it. I was like, sure, yeah, I didn't say that part. My fault. And so something else happened in it, and I'm just like, you're not Oryumon's something to Oriyumon and protection. Somehow he gets protection. He did not mention that.
Ryudamon started.
He did not mention the effect at all. And then I go like pop or some shit, and then he's like, oh, it's protected. What? I was just like, there was something, I forgot what I did. But I was just like, there's just no effing way right now. And I was just like, sure, okay, whatever. Like, cause I'm like tilted at this point from round 1 to this. And so like every effect that happened, I just started like, I was just like, whatever. And then like, I was getting more tilted from it. and then it cost me like game 2 because then you know how it is. Them turns be slow as all hell, and then I misplayed like hard at the end, and I was like, all right, whatever, you got the game because yeah, whatever. I forgot what I did. It was like I swung with Metal Siegemon to bounce something, and then he was like a certain effect happened. I was like, yeah, whatever, which killed my Metal Siegemon something because I had like a mercy mode, could kill the Orumon or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but anyways, so no matter whatever. I'm 1-1. I go to round 3, play against Gamamon. So then now this happens. He does effects, blah blah blah. I go mercy mode. Mercy mode's effect, pop, bottom deck 10 cards. He was like, I have an on deletion effect. No sir, I'm bottom decking your stuff. You do not have an on deletion effect. And I even clarified with someone else that knows, and he was like, yeah, you don't get an effect. And then all of a sudden he starts raging about it. I was just like, oh, I have to deal with this. I have to deal with this. So then many times on this now, instead of when attacking effects I have to keep asking about, I have to keep asking about end of turn effects of when he's gaining memory for whatever reasons, because of Gamamon's combos, whatever. And I go, he's like, all right, end of turn. Because I have, Dark Master effects that happens on opponent's end of turn, which matters because, pop, play one effect to pop or, whatever. So he goes, something happens. I want to say Proximon or something like that. He doesn't activate it at first. And I say, is that all your effects? He looks at me and he goes, oh, wait, I can do this. I was like, okay. And then I'm like, is that it? And he was like, yeah, that's it. So he puts me like at a certain number, and he goes, I draw. I go like end of turn effect, dark DM, play something else. I don't remember exactly what it was. I draw. I'm about to like swing, and this mattered because of where my stack was of where like memory. I think I was at 3. He was like, oh wait, as I'm swinging, I'm supposed to have gained a memory off the whatever effect. I was looking at him like, you're not serious right now, because that changed the whole game state for me. Because I would have went like swung, went to Sword Defeat, went to like Omnimon Mercy mode or something. Because I was at 3, like that would like I would have had like a little combo going, and he does that. I was just like, bro, you were not serious. And I'm like, because I know how he is, I go, sure, go ahead, take the memory. Because now, even though that messes up my whole plays, but I'm not trying to hear him. So then, I win game 1. Game 2 happens. He wins game 2. Game 3 happens. Mind you, almost every end of turn, I have to ask multiple times, is that all your effects? Because he kept forgetting effects. Game 3 happens. He has a Boko and something else. And I go mercy mode, and he has something underneath the Pokemon for on deletion effect. And I go, all right, cool, effect, blow it up. And he's like, on deletion effect to play something else. I was like, no, I'm bottom decking it again. And he just goes off the rails. I was like, oh my God, you are not serious right now. You are not serious. And like that just like threw off my whole train of thought, because it's like, bro, we already went through this already. Is I have a whole effect to deal with. It's not just pop, something else happens, bottom deck. It's pop and bottom deck all at the same time. This is all one effect. It's a one Digimon effect. And that concept, I guess, did not ring through his brain or something. And he was just like raging super hard about it. I was just like, why are you complaining about mercy mode? This is not anything new. This is not even busted. I went mercy mode over mercy mode at one point, and he freaked the F out because he's like, how the F you do that? I was like, it's Digimon with Omnimon with name, pop, bottom deck. You got nothing in your board state. And then just every end of turn was trash. That was start of my turn, trash. Go into again. It was funny as hell, that part. But like, it was just like, I ended up losing because I misplayed because I was just so frustrated with something. I forgot what the misplay was. He ended up having like 3 Bokos, and he just kept protecting the Proximon. And then his Proxima was just dealing with whatever I had, and I was just like, I don't care at this point because I was just so frustrated with it. Very frustrating night.
For our audience, I just want to take this time to say, if you're unaware about how on deletions work, on deletions occur in the trash. They don't occur in the process of hitting the trash. They don't occur. It literally, on deletion effects occur in the trash. That's how they say on deletion when they hit the trash. So with that in mind, let's take a look at Doberman, right? EX2 Doberman. If you swing EX2 Doberman, Doberman dies, and you have the BT2 Gabumon on deletion, draw 2 trash 1, and a Demi-Mera under there. If you proc Doberman's effect, you mill 3, and then you take that Doberman back from trash, your other on deletion effects, because it was part of the same stack, don't occur because
correct, it's not there anymore.
That those inheriteds no longer have a Digimon to trigger on, so to say, right? With that same concept in mind, calling from the darkness, you delete one of your Digimon with an on deletion effect. You fully resolve calling from the darkness first. If you pull a Digimon with an on deletion effect back from trash, you do not trigger said on deletion effect because it is no longer in trash for you to trigger, right? So merciful mode follows the same thought logic. If you delete a Digimon with on deletions, like a Zwart defeat, for example, that Digimon hits the trash, but you bottom deck that Zwart defeat, it is no longer in trash. What on deletion is there to occur? No on deletions occur. It's an important distinction to make because, apparently not enough people understand how on deletions work.
For sure.
So just a little tidbit for y'all, but you're a nice guy. I'm cutthroat. When I was playing in regionals this weekend, that's why I didn't go to locals because I was playing in regionals. I guess I probably should talk about that then. Oops.
Yeah.
I didn't do too hot. I went 2 and 3 before I dropped with Fenry. I lost to Melga. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about Melga. The only thing I'm gonna say is, if you think Gabu X needs to be at 4, you're insane. That motherfucker and Garurumon X can both stay they bitch asses at 1 because the amount of I have Dan's fucking problem. It's the amount of times they hit these fucking 1-0s, bro. Like in the one game, like, okay, let me put it this way. I had a problem with Melga previously, and I don't now. I'm okay with Melga now, even though they got all this shit. I'm okay with them now. But before we got that promo hit, that deck was so fucking annoying to face because they could literally OTK you with almost no setup whatsoever. Like, once they get that promo on field, that's it. Because they do the one check, oh, I was gonna die, that's okay, I've got protection. Boom, saved. Then they're gonna swing, but they're gonna Digivolve into a X, and then that's slightly bigger. If they're gonna die again, that's okay. They still got protection. They saved.
And that's 2 checks also.
2 more checks. Exactly.
That's 3 in total.
More cards in hand.
Unsuspend.
And then they go into before it used to be that fucking EX1 Melgo, which you gain 1 for every 4 cards in your hand, I believe. So that shit used to be like 1 to 2 to Digivolve. And then you go into Melga X, you can get the unsuspend, and then you swing for 2 more checks. And then you go into Omni, and then you swing for game. That shit was annoying. If promo was at 4, let me tell you what this combo would look like. Forget about Gabu X and Werguru X. If Bukamon and promo were at 4, let me tell you how this dumbass combo goes. You raise your dumbass Bukamon stack, right? You do all your dumbass shenanigans to get into your fucking promo Wergurumon, right? You have jamming because you're an X antibody deck. You've got more sources than your opponent, right? You take your first swing, you unsuspend. You're jamming. That's 1 check. You slot your X antibody, you take your next swing, you proc, boom, you Digivolve, you get to unsuspend. Let's say, because it's a really good card, you use EX5 where Garurumon. Cool. Now you unsuspend, you're swinging for 2 checks, you still have jamming, you're not dying to anything except an option, right? Now, you Digivolve into Melga Ace. Oh, I spent 3 memory, but I trashed the cards. I gained 3 memory back. All right, cool. I'm going to swing again. I trash a card for the new Werguru X to unsuspend. Boom, 2 more checks down. You just did 5 checks, and now you can swing again for game because of the fucking promo with Sec +1. This is why decks with Sec +1, decks that have access to unsuspending like that should not have access to Sec +1. I've been on that train for the longest fucking time. That shit's so annoying. That's why Fenry is fucking annoying. I'm not going to sit here and defend Fenry. Because that shit's annoying too. It's like, oh, cool. I raised this little bitch-ass Lugamon stack, and I'm at 1 memory, but I got a training boost. Well, you're fucked, buddy, because now I'm about to pop the fuck off, and I'm going to swing for what? I think Fenry does 6 total checks in a turn, Dan. You swing. You get to play something you want to suspend.
Swing,
you pop something you want to suspend, which is...
You can do
Fenry is dumb too. Fenry is dumb too. I'm not going to sit here and defend it. Dash it is dumb too. But at least that fucker dies to a fucking option. Unless you run ADP. But now you're not... That's an extra piece in the cogwheel, right?
To be fair, Melga dies to an option too.
Yeah.
They do. It's not as... It just feels like they never fucking hit my options, bro. I mean,
I'm just saying.
No, they do die to options as well. They do. But they have more protection than They have... the decks go back and forth. I'll put it like that. They definitely go back and forth in terms of which one is more annoying.
I don't know if I could say... It doesn't need protection because it gets the 20K from Alliance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They have Alliance, so they don't need protection because they're already swinging over. But to your point, Dan, you said watching Fenry play is like
boring.
It's like watching paint dry. And it's because it's like watching BT9 Alphamon play in its prime. It's like, oh, look at this motherfucker. I put that motherfucker to 1 and now he's just popping off. Because now I put him to 1 and he's at 7 and he's got an Oryukin on board. Like, yeah, I get it. And back then it used to be, oh, cool. He's got the fucking Yuji and he's got the Oryumon. So he's going to swing 2 checks on suspend, swing 2 checks on suspend. Like, I get it. That shit's annoying too. So trust me, I get Fenry is annoying. Melga is just as annoying with that shit though. That got me tight because that's exactly what happened to me. What pissed me off even more was he had swung, right? And he was like, damn, I think I lose next turn. And in my mind, I was like, yes. He can't swing for the last couple of checks. I was like, I'm golden. I win next turn. I literally was going to win next turn. Then he was like, oh, wait. Digivolve's Melga Ace. I was like,
damn.
Gains 3 memory. Swing, trash card, unsuspend. I was like, there's literally nothing you could die to because you have jamming.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That made me wish I had my fucking Rivals Barrage. You're
going to hate it even more because people have gotten a little crazy and started mathing and they're only running 3 eggs now. It's one of jamming.
Mike, I shit you not. So funny. I do think he's only running. He might have only been running 3 because he saw that consistently. And I looked at his eggs and I was like, wow. He must really only be running 3 fucking eggs.
Yeah, because it makes a lot of sense.
And then your Bukamon.
You have a 33% chance of the Bukamon being the first egg you hatch. And then after that, when you raise that egg, now you have a 66% chance that you hit the Bukamon.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just run. You might as well just run 2 eggs, 1 Buka and the other one.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why not just run 2? Just run Buka and 1 thing. It's a 50-50 chance to reveal the Buka.
I think 3 eggs is a little too fucking risky, but...
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think
3 eggs is a little too crazy, but yeah.
But I like that you said that. A little too crazy. I like that you said that because people were like, oh my goodness, unban Bukamon, blah, blah, blah.
Unban?
It's getting to the point where Melga is considering running 3 eggs just so that they can consistently see the Bukamon, and you want them to have Bukamon at 4? You're insane. Yeah. You want them to have Protection Gabu X that also searches out their entire deck because it searches for Garurumon or X antibody in name.
And grabs 2.
Well, obviously you know that Garuru X isn't coming off the list, but that Gabu X grabs 2 and then it also trashes a card. So it facilitates the protection. And then that protection, when you have that in the Garuru X, that's better than purging stuff from your stack. Like, no, y'all are wild. No, I'm not trying to hear it. Melga's perfect. Melga's a menace as is. Let them continue doing their menacing shenanigans with all their 1-ofs.
I would just like to say that this conversation started with Varney saying, I'm not going to complain about Melga.
Yeah, right.
I'm totally complaining about Melga now. Totally complaining about Melga now. But yeah, so I lost to Melga. I lost to... I lost to... Oryumon? Not DigiPolice. I lost to Ragna Oryu
Dorberg.
I lost to Door Lord Ryumon.
Door Lord
Ryumon. So Let me tell you guys. Let me illustrate. Let me set the scene. Hatch. Doraemon. Oh, okay. This is either Machinedramon or Alphamon. Digivolve Ryudomon. Oh, right. This could also be Digipolice. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. I'm trying to get set up. He's trying to get set up. All the while, I'm seeing, Dorugamon. I'm seeing like Alphamon. I'm seeing Oryumon. I'm like, and Shuyulin. I'm like, oh yeah, this is an Alphamon deck. Okay, cool. He establishes the God Stack Oryumon, which against my deck, like even if he didn't Ragna and Dorbic, like just the Oryumon that can't be, because it's actually like it pops into my mind that like this could be a really good deck in a way, because once you put the Shuyulin under the Oryumon, you put a source under, he now cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects.
Yeah, that's true. Against
so
Fenrir,
not just
you don't
Fenrir.
get that second swing.
Leviamon, they can't pop it, and that's a God Stack against Leviamon. Like, there's just that for X antibody, that's really good, right? So, okay, I'm like, I gotta try to work around this. So I like popped off, and I was like, this is fine. I can pop off, have like 5 bodies on board. If he runs Dexmon, that hurts, but I'll still probably be in a good position. He had a Shuyulin, so obviously he went to 3 memory, right? He was like, any on deletions I need to worry about? I was like, nah, not in this deck. He goes, all right, cool. I want to play Dorbic. And I was like, Dorbic? What the fuck? Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. I guess you get like any blockers out of the way, but like, I don't see how you're still going to get through like 4 security. I win next turn, buddy. He starts counting sources. I'm like, what the fuck are you counting sources for? What the fuck?
My guy shoved that flame on underneath that Dorbic stack.
Yeah, he shoved that flame on. I didn't even like think about it at the time. He was like, I'll use this flame on this. I was like,
or not flame drum.
Flame drum on.
Or flames, yes, flame drum on, yes. End of turn DNA. I was like, I don't understand, but you know what? Whatever. I don't know. Starts counting the sources. I'm like, what the fuck is he counting sources for? Next thing you know, he's like, I'm gonna Ragna. And I was like, I started counting his sources. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Fuck!
I love that Ragnar is just the better card in every deck except for the deck it was meant for.
Facts.
Yes, exactly. Bro, that shit had me.
Also, what kind of luck did that man have to be able to go into a full
I'll tell you exactly what happened. He metal cannoned his stack that had 9 swords.
You left that part out. You left that part out. Bro.
You missed me asking that because they showed the someone showed the list in our the Big East chat, Mike, and I was like, yo, how consistent is that? And then someone mentioned metal cannon, and Barney was like, metal cannon for 9, and then someone said something else.
Metal like, cannon for 2 draw 9 cards. That is exactly what the fuck happened to me both games as I was searching for my pieces.
That's so because I was like, how did he get that full stack and then still have all that for a fucking
or a door brick?
Wow, but that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Ragna, for every 4 sources you have, not only trashes a security, but deletes a Digimon. And that's significant, right? Because the second game, I was like, all right, bet. Second game, I was like, I bet. I forgot about the delete part. I thought it was delete 1, right? I was like, I bet. I'm going in here smart. I was like, I may not be able to OTK you, but I can damn sure wall up. I got 3 blockers. Deal with that, bitch. Same exact shit.
He said 16 sources. Delete.
He said, I'll play Dorbic. I'm going to delete one of your blockers. I was like, that's good. Even if you Ragna, I still got 1 more blocker. You can't swing for game.
No, you don't.
He's like, 16. All right. I'm going to delete your entire board. And I was like,
he was like, it was like that meme with the chick with the math problems all over her head.
Yes, exactly. I was like, he's still deleting board. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Fuck. I wasn't even upset I lost to that shit, bro. That shit was dumb and I was all there for it. Man,
That's
what a fucking deck to lose to, bro. That shit had me feeling some type of way. He was sitting there, he's talking all nice to me. He was like, damn, I'm bricking. I was like, the fuck you mean you bricking? I was like, I guess you're looking for that Shu Yulin, aren't you?
No wonder he was fucking bricking, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He just kept playing. He played defense training, memory boost. Bro, man's had 3 defense trainings and 2 memory boosts. I was like,
damn.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the card, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, what's the third deck you lost to?
Oh,
hi.
Say hi, Emmy.
Hello.
So,
hi.
The third deck that I lost to, I'm not gonna lie, I can't even I know what the got lost to. No, that's a lie. I don't remember. I thought I remembered it, but then it was Melda.
It's only 5 rounds.
Yeah, Melda was my first loss. That deck was my second loss. I lost to some. I don't remember what the third deck I lost to was. It was definitely a winnable matchup.
Red Hybrid.
Nah, I didn't lose to Red Hybrid.
Leviamon.
That, thank God. Oh, yes, you're right. I did lose to Leviamon. And no, I didn't lose to Leviamon because I was playing Fenry. I lost to Leviamon because I bricked. And if you're like, oh, he didn't lose because he got outplayed. No, you can ask my opponent. My opponent was like, damn, I feel so bad for you. I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, I also feel bad for me. I couldn't do anything. Like, I had no rookie. I didn't even have like good champions to play. Like normally, this is why I love Tyrannomon, because I feel like Tyrannomon search. But like what I replaced Tyrannomon with, you know, the Uber and stuff, like none of that was in hand. I didn't have anything good to play or Digivolve into. I couldn't even, it was so bad. I couldn't even hard slam Hellugar. No, let me rephrase. I could have, but by that point he had set up and I was like, the moment I slam Hellugar, I'm even more fucked because now I'm about to fill up my trash. And he's just going to take advantage of that. So,
hey, Mike, you know what could have helped his Berkey situation?
Go ahead, say it. Say the words. Say the words. Say it.
Two more analog youth.
Yeah. At least it's another searcher. So at least another searcher.
And in another way, they also could have fucked me because they would have trashed cards for Leviamon to take advantage of. I had a missed memory boost in hand, and I was like, I really want to use this card, but the moment any Digimon hits my trash, I am fucked.
I mean, if you're bricked up, you have to do it. You have to risk it. Because what are you going to do? Sit there and just keep passing?
Pause? If you're bricked up, you have to risk it? Pause?
If you're bricked up, you gotta risk it. That's how you end up with little ones like this, right? I mean,
oh my god!
Is why we're not. Then that's why we're not getting sponsored by Banda.
No,
I'm talking about Digimon. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh my! See, even Emmy thinks it's funny. She ain't even hearing y'all. No, but I would have. But like seeing what he searched, I was like, if he didn't do any Levia plays on me because he literally couldn't. He was playing a slower game because that's all he could do because I didn't have anything to trash. He didn't play the Gesomon, so he couldn't force me to trash anything either. So as long as I could keep holding him off, I was just hoping between like the wisdom and the purple mem boost that I'd be able to see something. I didn't see anything, unfortunately.
Tragic.
So it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and complain about that. I lost. It is what it is. You know, you win some of your brick hands and you lose some of your brick hands. But after that, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm done for the day because it was like, you know how it is because we're on the East Coast. It was like 7 o'clock.
Oof.
And I was like, I'm not sitting here for 3 more hours to try to make top 128.
Yeah, unlike Ulti Cups though, like Ulti Cups is okay to like stay, but like once you're X3 drop, there's no point in a regional setting.
I get 2 more event packs. Those are going to be flying around in a few months. So I don't care for anything. Like I do, but like not enough, like you said, to stay. Like
and depending on when you even go X2, you should even consider dropping too as well.
X2, I was like, I can potentially make top 16. And I could maybe make top 32, and top 32 matters because you get like DigiEgg sleeves, you get the finalist set. So I was like, that I'll play for X2. X3 though, I was like, yeah, no, we're dropping.
Yeah, once X3
it's
happens,
7 o'clock. I'm not even gonna tough it out because I'm just done, right? I mean,
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get into that one. I was really trying to get into that one. I missed it by like an hour, I think it was. I don't remember when I missed it, but I got the one in April, so I'll be prepping for that one soon.
Yeah, I'm in one next month and the month after for all the online ones. I still have to register for some of those Ulti Cups if they're. I think registration for the online Ultimate Cups are still available, so I still got to register for those. But that was my regional run with Fenry. I switched the deck around a lot because the build that I was going in with, I wasn't like necessarily comfortable with it to begin with, and now I'm just like, you know what? Half of the stuff that like I put in here, like for example, double Fangmon, I was like, I would have rathered my Tyrannomon, so I could have gotten my search off and find both my Agi and my Lugamon. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to running my 3 Tyrannomon. I cut the Fangmon out, and I know I'm gonna regret that, but honestly, I just rather the Tyrannomon. I still run an Uber. I didn't even need 2. Like, the moment I saw Leviamon, I was like, ha! You're fucked, buddy. I got 2 Ubers. Didn't need them. I didn't need them at all.
Yeah, because you breaked up.
Well, even the game that I won, I only needed the 1. So I was like, okay. Like, I think he just retroactively was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna facilitate any like biting crush play because he saw the Uber. So I was like, I guess that's fine. Like, if you're not gonna do biting crush, then I don't need to run 2. I can get away with running 1. I still run the 2 Black Automon with Rush because those are, you know, amazing.
Yeah, it's a must.
And then, but I did up my Lugar count to 3, the new one, because so many times I actually did wish. That's why I cut the Fangmon, because I actually did wish I had that instead of the what's it called, the Fangmon. So I was like, yeah, I'll just run the extra Lugar. I'll just run the extra Lugar because it combos really nicely off of the hell.
Yo, my bad for anyone listening to that because I smacked the shit out of my mic arm right there. My bad, guys. I love y'all.
I could probably cut that out. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens in post. Anyways,
this is a great pod so far. Just random shit is in the middle.
I like saw the doorknob rattling. I was like, that can't be my wife. She wouldn't rattle on the doorknob. I was like, which one of these little mother lovers is up? Open the door. It's the small one. I'm like, okay, come here, child. So yeah, that was my regional run. Not too hot. We'll see if I hit the next one with Fenrir or whatever deck I'm feeling at that time. Because now I finally have my pieces for DigiPolice, so I can finally start playing it. Oriumon DigiPolice. So excited to finally get testing with that. Anyways, we're at the point of pod. We're past the point of pod where we're talking about poll results in Q&A. I asked the audience, what are your card game origins? Why did you get into the Digimon card game? Starting with Surakage, he said, I played Force of Will for about 8 years before picking up Digimon. Holy hell. I mean,
I didn't even know Force of Will lasted that long.
I didn't know that it was around for that long. Wow.
Me neither. I knew it was like super strong. It still has somewhat of a community on the West Coast, apparently. I know Asura is a former Yu-Gi-Oh player, but I did not realize Force of Will went for 8 years. Holy hell. Davies Sharif said, I had a craving for something Digimon related, and Survive, of course, was taking forever to release. So I stumbled on it while going through Google. Cool. Chris said LGS had the Gallant and All-Force decks on sale and got them to see how the game played. Girlfriend found out there was a Mastamon deck, her favorite. Now she had to play. We've been going to locals ever since. Chris, never let her go. I've been trying to get mine to play Digimon with me, and she looks at him. She's like,
no.
I've been showing her the Terriermon, and I'm like, look at it. Look at it.
It's so cute.
It's so cute, right? Don't you want to play? She's like,
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Exactly. Jay Stort said, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was 6. Got out because I hated the 17 negation board opponents would have on their first turn. Saw Digimon cards and a tutorial app. Loved Digimon as a kid and have been playing since. R. Totten said, started with Pokemon as an elementary school student, then got into Yu-Gi-Oh! And DigiGuard battle later. Switched to Magic in middle school. Overall, just love Digimon, and above all, glad I found out about DCG 2020.
Nice.
It definitely came out at a very good time. I honestly don't think this game would have been as popular if it didn't come out when it did.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure COVID had a factor to it.
I think COVID was a big thing about it. AJ said Commander in Magic, then Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Fight, Sword, Shadowverse, and One Piece. With Digimon, the art is fire. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and the memory gauge is a unique resource system. Just had a 20-man local. Love our community. 20-man locals are fire, and I agree. The memory gauge is what makes anybody who's not a Digimon fan play this game, or for sure to play this game.
I do love the memory gauge. I just wish that it mattered as much as it used to.
It does.
You got all them new fancy, newfangled decks like Fenrir.
You like Fenrir? Your turn doesn't end until you're at 3 memory.
Yeah, some bullshit cards.
I really wish that they didn't make that card have that effect. So I would rather have it be like the same as Oreo, like gain like 5 memories, some nonsense instead of that.
Digivolve when this card digivolves from Solugarmon, gain 4 memory.
My biggest problem with it again is just like I hate when they like ban, like they'll restrict cards and be like, because the memory manipulation, blah 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 blah. I'm like,
what's Fenrir? That's not memory manipulation. Like it's crazy.
Like, what are you talking about? You literally print these cards on purpose, you fucking dickheads. Like don't use that as a reason. Just say you didn't play test it. Say it.
Guz Thraka says Pokemon, then Yu-Gi-Oh, then Duel Masters, then Magic, then Digimon. Digimon plays a lot like Duel Masters, which I love. Originally collected for the art, but the gameplay is tight. Like I said,
I wish Duel Masters was bigger in the US because I heard that game is hella fun.
Bro, same. The one thing, if I ever go to Japan for any extended period of time, I'm learning some Japanese so I can play me some Duel Masters. Nighthawk said, "Where's all of the above?" Fair. This was for the poll. I guess let me just read the poll. The poll had to do with the Q&A. I asked, what card games did you play before picking up Digimon? Out of 29 votes, I let people vote multiple times. 12 people said Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes sense. Only 5 said Pokemon, which is honestly like surprising. But like, I guess most people who play Pokemon have played some other game. Like Peter said last pod, I feel like people who only play Pokemon even some Magic people who like only play Magic, even they get out and play other games. Like Pokemon only peeps, they built different. Not in a good way sometimes. 1 person said Card Fight, 8 people said Magic, and 3 people said other. In those other, I'm sure Nighthawk said all of the above. Leppy said, for me, it's Magic, Pokemon, and Vanguard. I left each for different reasons. I actually picked up Digimon because a friend told me about it and told me Kabuteru had a cool deck back in BT4, and I stuck with it ever since.
Yo, who lied to that man?
I don't know. Nighthawk said, my list goes back even further. In the era of Decipher, Dot Hack, Enemy, Mega Man NT Warrior TCG, which I did not even realize, Lord of the Rings, all the incarnations of the Digimon card games, Battle Spirits pre-Saga, and even dabbled a bit into Universal Fighting System. Otherwise, I think now they're known as UVS for the Mega Man sets.
Nighthawk, how old are you really? If you listen to this pod, let me know in the Discord. I'm curious now because you sound like you're probably at least minimum our age group.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just looking at the analytics on Spotify, I would say at least like 3/4. Let me see. I got it right here.
The 26 to 30, right?
I was on point. 67.3% of our audience is aged 28 to 34, according to Spotify.
I thought it was 26 to 30, but yeah, same thing basically.
With 23 to 27 is 21.6%. 8% of our audience is 35 to 44. 0.1% of our audience is 45 to 59. 2.6% of our audience is 18 to 22. And 0.1% of our audience is 0 to 17. So if you're listening to this without your
I think Nighthawk might be that 0.1% that's like 49 to 50 for the road.
Damn, how you gonna do my boy like that?
I'm kidding.
You know what's even more? You know what's better now though? Our audience is a lot more diversified. We used to be like 99% male before. Now we're 87.1% male. 7.9% not specified, 3.6% female, and 1.4% non-binary.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Now we're a lot more
sick.
diversified. Most of
We
our
are.
audience still hails from the United States, but a very good portion of our audience hails from all of the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. 2% from Mexico.
Chrome.
And 1% from Germany. Yeah, Chrome and his brother and a couple other
facts.
people.
Facts.
That's within the last 30 days as well. That's not even all time.
Yeah.
So definitely nice to see all of that. Anyways, we promised you guys a pod where we would talk about your custom card game submissions for our giveaway. And today's pod is exactly
Not the day. We're not talking about it. You're done. You're cut off. We're not doing it. No, I'm just joking.
Wow, that was rude.
We had a lot of submissions. Like, I had troubles choosing. I think my list was at least like, I had like 15 cards and I was like, these cards, I don't know how I'm narrowing it down, but these 15 cards are my favorites. And I told everybody to choose 10. So choosing 10 cards was hard. Out of the 10 cards, so we had the way I did it was we had a first round. I had everybody pick out their favorite cards, 10 of their favorite cards from all of the submissions. I then took all of those results, I put them together, and I found who had the most votes on a single card. And for people who submitted multiple times, who had like the most votes on multiple cards within like their conglomeration of cards, blah, blah, blah. I only found 2 winners from that first round. So we had to pick 4 more winners. So I took all of the submissions that we all had, that we all liked out of those 10. I put them in a new thing and I said, all right, now we pick 6. And out of those 6, I then took, again, the most popular card, the one with the most votes, and then the people who had like multiple votes across multiple cards. So I can say with an utmost certainty, there was a hands down winner. The hands down winner.
Wait, let's go to honorable mentions. I gotta go honorable mentions first. You gotta go honorable mentions first.
Yeah, I'm
honorable
with Dan.
mentions
You gotta
last.
do honorable.
Okay.
No, you gotta do honorable. Or either that, or you do like 3rd place, 2nd place, and then honorable
or
mentions.
5th. Because we was a top 6. Yeah, you can't go number 1 first.
All right. Okay, all right.
This guy.
We're gonna go with honorable mentions first. So, an honorable mention to Mythios. Mythios, I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
Dan was gunning for you.
That card was fire.
It's probably because I never like watched like all of like the original movies and such. So this didn't sit with me as much as some of the other cards did.
Bro, you don't understand.
Bro,
I
hold the fuck
I think the
up.
problem is named Kids in America. It should have been named Kids in America. It should have been Kids in the World probably because it was a worldwide phenomenon with Digimon.
I didn't watch the movie.
Well, no, Kids in America was like.
I that's what I'm saying. Though. I didn't watch the movie. Like I like the card, but I didn't get the movie reference, and it only had 2 votes. Okay.
But I mean, look at what it did. Just know what it did is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what the? That's why I was like, what the fuck is this? What do you mean? Did you evolve into an Omnimon from a tamer? No, but
the reason the car is called Kids in America is because that song from the movie Kids in America. Yeah.
Again, didn't watch the movie.
Varney, how the fuck have you never seen the original?
Yeah, how have you not seen it yet? We've been talking about, bro. You've been.
You are like the fakest Digimon fan. You know the 25th anniversary of that movie just happened, right?
Facts.
Like that would have been the perfect time to be like, hey, my very good friends who I run a Digimon channel with. I've never seen the original Digimon movie. Maybe we should get together and watch it.
How about I've never watched any of the Digimon movies?
You've never? What do you mean you've never watched any of the Digimon movies?
If you haven't watched the first English one, you think he's gonna watch the rest? Let me put it like this: Gabby's watched it before you. That's a problem. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've made my Gabby watch it already, bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
I've only watched Savers. Savers is my first and only series I watched all the way through, and then I myself went back and watched Adventure 01 and 02. I worked, I'm like halfway through Tamers, like the first quarter of Frontier.
Tamers is like one of the best seasons ever. What do you mean? Like, that's fucking.
Yeah. So like I said, but
Didn't watch
only
the
2
Goated
people voted
movie.
for it, so you can't hop on me because that means one of y'all motherfuckers didn't vote for it. So it's not
Mike,
just on me.
Did you vote for it, Mike? You better had.
I don't. We had to revote so many times. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I voted for it though.
Wow.
But I might not have been.
He didn't vote for it.
Okay, whatever.
That's crazy.
We voted for it the first time, but it didn't make it into the finalist voting. I'm out.
Whatever. Anyways,
So you can already
either
tell
way,
us
at least I've
Dan
seen
and
the
Adrian
fucking
who
movie.
voted for it. But an honorable mention to Kids in America. Kids in America. So, start of your main phase. You may place 1 tamer card from your hand or trash onto this tamer to gain 1 memory and draw a card. Main, you may place one Metal Garurumon, 1 Greymon from your hand or trash under this tamer to digivolve into an Omnimon from your hand for the cost, ignoring Digivolution requirements. It is a 4 play cost tamer. It is white. And when attacking as an inherited once per turn, you may trash tamer cards from this Digimon's sources. For every 3 tamers trashed this way, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack.
It's a pretty cool card. It's really interesting. I thought it fits on the lore aspect of it. Of, you know, all the kids giving the energy to, you know, Omnimon to become Omnimon with the emails and stuff. And in that essence, you're putting a bunch of tamers underneath it to get War Greymon and no Garurumon to, you know, go into Omnimon. It was cool as hell.
I don't know if I can continue this podcast knowing that Varda's never seen the original Digimon.
Yo, facts. I am.
Bro, because that means you've never seen our,
Flabbergasted.
like, you haven't even seen our war game, which is like what the original
Yes, this
Digimon,
is
like the
correct.
movie we got is based off of our war game, but it's like just cuts and snippets of our war game. It's not the full thing. I'm kind of just mind blown right now. I just feel like we need to just take a weekend right now and just go through some Digimon.
Just binge watch Digimon movies.
Yeah, like
I'm
you guys
a
can
full
come through to my
Digimon
house.
fan, but like I became a Digimon fan not off of the series. I became a
Yes, 'cause
Digimon
of the
fan
card
off of the
game.
games. No, because of the video games.
Oh, okay.
Started with World 3 and then World DS, Dawn and Dusk. I tried to play Redigitize.
I would have never in my entire life touched a
Recode?
goddamn Digimon game if I didn't watch the fucking series. Those
was
early
awesome,
ones were rough.
No, they were fun. World 3 was like, oh
Bro,
my good lord.
My
what is
love of
this?
Digimon is what carried me through Digimon World 1. I would have never played that fucking game if I didn't love Digimon the way I did. That game was
feel like-
brutal.
To me, that game, I think, aged better when you're older because you understand the aspects of how you're supposed to like play the game. As a kid, you're like, what the F is this? Because I remember playing it as a kid.
Sounds about right.
And I used to struggle. I had the guidebook. I struggled to hell. I'm like, why is my Agumon not Digivolve to Greymon when I meet the requirements and blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, discipline is super important, and learning your techniques is super important as well. And if you don't have those, you miss out. But anyways,
It's just like training your Pokemon.
but better. Because you're basic. You're just leveling up on your Pokemon. There's levels to it.
No, you have to train like your IVs and stuff. Like there's
No,
stuff
you
that goes
fucking-
in. There's stuff that goes into your IVs.
I have beaten every mainline story fucking Pokemon game.
The story don't
any-
matter. It's the PvP.
by making
give
my
a F
fucking
about
starter Pokemon level 100 and just destroy.
Yes, I mean
them.
exactly. That's what I used
There is
to do
no
too.
there is no gameplay to Pokemon, bro. You
There's
just
PvP.
mindless. It is mindless.
It's PvP. But Digimon does have the story. Well, Digimon
And
has the
gameplay.
story for sure. But the like Ruby and Sapphire, those had some decent stories. But this isn't a Pokemon podcast, and we got more cards to get through. So the second honorable mention goes to Angry Aquaman, who had Victory Greymon Ace. Now he said, I'll read the effect of it first. So Victory Greymon Ace, obviously it's an Ace card. So Blast Digivolve counter, 3 from a Greymon. On play and when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP equal to or less than this Digimon. And then all turns, if this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, delete one of your opponent's Digimon to prevent this Digimon from leaving. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack instead.
Overly unnecessarily busted.
Definitely. So that is why that's why I couldn't choose this card to win. But because he provided like some background on it, I was like, all right, I gotta give him an honorable mention.
I don't think I read it, but I think I know why he did it, but continue.
So he said, I'm a pretty big Victory Gray fan and having an actual good one would be sick. The on-play-on Evo effect represents Dramon Breaker, or Draymon Breaker, in which the opponent is bludgeoned with the flat of the blade. The all-turn effect represents the Victory Charge, where a sword technique is used to reflect an opponent's attack. So for that, I was like,
I'm not surprised by that, yeah. Makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, and I like that. It's just, it's so busted. It's like, oh, you attacked me, or you're Gaia forcing me? Slash. Psych, bitch. No way, Jose. Especially for being an ace card. It's like, yeah, I can prevent my overflow by deleting one of your Digimon type thing. So that's why this card couldn't win it for me, but I definitely like this card. This was a finalist contender for me. That would definitely make it really good, but that also makes me afraid for dumb shit like Red Hybrid. It's like,
yeah.
When Digivolve, you gonna attack me while I got an Alderman on the field? Blast Digivolve. You try to deal with me? Psych.
Especially since he has it as a 3-cost level 5. So all right, cool. We'll go Oguni to 1. If you still have enough memory, we'll Gravity Crush, go into this, just pop off. Like Jesus Christ.
Definitely a good card. I liked it. I just that secondary effect needs to be toned the down.
Yeah.
But definitely a good rendition of a Victory Greymon, because the ones that we have are trash. Our third honorable mention is Darien, who created the card Gatemon. Now, Gatemon, he went super...
Gatemon, I think it was. I think he said that.
He wrote it as Gatemon, but if it's supposed to be Gatiamon, then okay. So this card, he had a lot of lore on it, so he wrote it out in text, so I'm just gonna like kind of read through it. So this is a level 4 red-yellow Digimon. It is a hybrid, variable type, and dragonkin. It costs 3 to Digivolve, 6 to play, and 6,000 DP. So think about Burning Greymon, but yellow when you think of this card. For the description, imagine an Agumon-colored dragon board if you play Dungeons and Dragons, with black hand wraps, similar to Marcus wrist wraps, the same red hand straps as the Data Squad Agumon, cage fighter shorts, and the same sleeveless vest that Marcus wears in Data Squad. Its effects on the main body, you have it digivolves from a tamer with Marcus Damon in name for a cost of 1. It has a hand main effect by paying 2 cost and placing this card as the bottom Digi-Evolution card on one of your tamers with Marcus Damon in its name. You may Digivolve that tamer into a level 5 hybrid with Dragon in its trait from your hand. With paying the cost, I assume that, or without paying the cost, I assume that's what he intended. And then it has Jamming and Reboot. And then all turns once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, it may Digivolve into a level 5 or lower hybrid Digimon with Dragon in its trait from your hand. So it's basically facilitating your Rise Grays, right? Inherited effect, it has Raid. And your turn, once per turn, when Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, by placing one tamer with Marcus Damon in its name from this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards at the top of your security, you may prevent it from leaving play. Good lord. So he says the explanation behind this card. So this idea is from one of many what-if scenarios. What if the scrappiest tamer we've known was able to Spirit Digivolve? We already know Marcus is known for throwing hands with Digimon. Why not make it official? The name Gatemon comes from Marcus's original name, Masaru Daimon. Daimon or Daimon is a Japanese surname meaning Great Gate. I kept this card within the red-yellow realm of Marcus and Shine Gray, so naturally there's going to be aggression, recovery, and interaction with tamers. Since it's a spirit evolution, this is all going to be Marcus Damon-centric, hence all effects mentioning him and this card offering a reduced Digi-Evolution cost. With the traits in text, I wanted them to be based on dragons, similar to Shine Gray and similar to Ancient Gray, where the Digimon spirit would have come from. Keywords in effect, we have Jamming and Reboot. Marcus never seemed to be afraid of the repercussions when swinging, so jamming felt natural. Reboot is another form of protection, so we don't have to worry about getting swung over the next turn, and it ties into the inheritable. Our all turns once per turn allows this card to get into a bigger body after utilizing the Reboot. Our raid inheritable keyword makes sense because swing into the big bad Digimon. Finally, playing more into the nature of Shine Gray Inherited allows us some more protection and recovery. I thought this was a super cool rendition of being able to take a concept from one part of the Digiverse and apply it to another part of the Digiverse.
I don't know how y'all didn't think that was a top 6 right there. That's so crazy to me, because he gave everything. He gave a backstory, he gave a lore, he gave a reason for his name. That card's is a brand new Digimon.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
That card's busted as fuck, bro.
Remote free Digivolve into a Rise Gray. And then protection, not even like trash markers for protection. It's recovery protection.
Raid? Dude? That was not happening. That was insane.
I would definitely say I liked it. That's why it's an honorable mention. I did vote for this card, but I wasn't able to vote for it in my finalist round because I had so many other strong contenders. This card was like good, but I was like, some of it's just so like it would have. If I'm looking at it from an objective point of view, like some of this shit's got to be retweaked because I cannot put this shit into the game and be like, oh yeah, that's just good to go straight out the gate. Like that needs some tweaking to be brought down a power level or two. But it's definitely it's what we aimed for in this competition. And I'm super happy to see this kind of a concept come out of y'all. Now, another honorable mention here. This one was from me, Allforce Magna on YouTube. You submitted a Kuzuhamon, a yellow-purple, level 6. It digivolves 4 from yellow or purple, 3 from a Digimon with Taomon in name. When digivolving, trash up to 3 option cards in the battle area with delay. And when attacking, return an option card from your trash with a play cost of 5 or less and plug in name. I like this card because I like the idea of interacting with delay cards, because that's something that we don't have currently. We have ways to counteract effects of delay cards. If it's a memory boost, you have memory blockers. If it's a training boost, you have the Digievolution blockers, or Digievolution cost reduction blockers. You've got the effect blockers for things like Leviamon or Double Typhoon, but we don't have a way to interact specifically with those cards. I think when the reason it's an honorable mention is, first of all, I think trashing up to 3 option cards is kind of insane. I want to say 1 is fine, maybe 2. 3 is like, I'm just going to wreck my opponent's whole game plan. And I don't think that should be in the game. The backstory, he said, I've been wanting to make Sukuyamon work for a while, even though I know it's not a good deck. I would love for some more support. This was written before we found out about the BT17 stuff. So I wanted to submit something that had to do with it, but couldn't think of anything. So he did say, shout out to DigiNerds. This is a Digimon podcast, who gave me an idea where they were talking about how we're getting more and more delay effects and how we might get floodgates for them. So that's, I do like the idea of this, but trashing 3 option cards, I think that's just like a little bit too strong. It's the same thing as with, what's it called? Stuff like Creepymon and Ghoulmon. It's like trash 3 of your opponent's card for every 10 you have in trash. You can't necessarily trash more, because then you start getting into like Apocalypse busted territory. But like 3 just isn't enough sometimes, unless you're a deck like Millithoop, where that's like your entire strategy. So I like this card. Honorable mention there. Another honorable mention.
I'll be real. I saw Kuzuhamon and I didn't read it. I didn't care about Kuza.
No, you dirty fuck. You couldn't even give him the time of day. Allforce Magna, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna have to send you one of the cards I was gonna give Dan now. Dan, whatever you got in my binder for you, I'm gonna send it to Allforce Magna. Now, a shout out to Akarun. They submitted Tokomon X, a level 2 X antibody yellow Digi-Egg. It is opponent's turn as the inherited. Once per turn, when one of your Digimon would be deleted by an effect, you may trash 1 X antibody from your hand to prevent that Digimon from leaving play. Thought this was super cool because I like the idea of putting the protection on the egg. The only thing I would say, and the reason I didn't vote for this for finalist, is because you shouldn't have to trash it from hand. I think you should trash it from source, because you're going to want to take it from hand and put it into source. And it should follow the same logic of like Greymon X. Well, I can't say Garurumon X. It should follow the same logic of BT11 Greymon X, that you trash it or remove it or from source. I don't think the old one can be trashed by any effects, or can it be trashed off of yours? No, I think it can just be removed. So it should just allow you to like bottom deck essentially the same thing as the Greymon X, but on an egg to, facilitate more effects. Dan, is there like a Koromon X?
No.
So how did Tokomon
Toko was a random X. Yeah, it's one of those random ones.
I think because
do you remember the? Do you remember? Like you saw it.
I lied.
You didn't watch it, but there is the X antibody. Tokomon was a random X
Mike,
antibody.
I lied. I did watch an X. I did watch a movie, and I watched the.
Out of all the fucking movies to watch, you watched the fucking PS2 graphics CGI movie. Yeah. What the fuck happened, bro? Sure what was your childhood?
I was super itchy. I won't.
That is like the most. That is the hardest, most obscure one to even find now. Like I literally.
It's hard to find.
That one is so hard to watch now.
I have my sources, so I was like, I gotta watch this movie. This is when X Antibody came out, and I was like, or I should say X Record, and I was like super interested in all the lore of like X Antibodies and stuff. So I was like,
you know, it's crazy if you would have been. I'm surprised you weren't super interested in any of the lore for like Omnimon, maybe.
Yeah, or
Diaboromon.
Royal Knight.
Or Diaboromon. Or anything like that. Terrier, we just got the starter decks of Terriermon in them. You know what would have been crazy? Watching the Digimon movie, maybe. I don't know.
I'll get to it. I will. I'm playing through Survive right now. We're getting there. But I do like Tokomon X, but I would have changed the effect to facilitate from its source instead of from hand. Now this one is coming. I was going to choose one anyways, but this one is definitely coming off the backing of the, I'm not going to call it lackluster, but just not what I was expecting for the Fenry Lugumon Takumi Kazuchi secret that just got unveiled.
I'm gonna give something real quick to this. I'm gonna be real. I saw all that text. I was like, I'm not reading that.
Sounds like you. You're a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
I already had like my 10 cards that I already paid, and I looked at it. I was like, it ain't happening.
So the Takumi Kazuchi that Bandai gave us, I'll read this first. It's a DNA. It's not an ace. It's a trash your turn effect. When one of your level 6 with Pulsemon in its text is played, 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into this card in your trash. And when Digivolving, basically, you neg 16k one of your opponent's Digimon. If DNA Digivolving, you set the opponent's memory to 3. Then, if a tamer is in its source, you gain a memory and recover 1. So effectively, no matter what the fuck you do, if you play a motherfucking Mega, you put your opponent to 10 memory, you can then DNA into this card from trash, set your opponent's memory to 3, and keep turn, because you're going to be playing this with the new Fenry Lugumon that has the same clause that your opponent's turn doesn't start until they're at 3 or more memory. And then when attacking, by trashing top card of your security stack, by trashing top card of your security, trash top card of your opponent's security. I was very underwhelmed by this, especially seeing some of our fan submissions. The one fan submission that we did get, Dan's right, it is a lot of text. I'm just gonna blaze through it. Basically, it's a ace DNA. It has Blitz. On play when Digivolving, if your DNA Digivolving, you either place an AG or Leon from hand or trash at the bottom source. Then if your opponent's at 3 or less memory, you gain 4, so it's a turn stealer. And then when attacking, if it has a purple Digi-Evolution card, you pop a level 3 or lower, but for every card that you play by effect in the turn, you add 1 to the max level that you can choose, then you unsuspend it and gain 2 memory. And then if it has a yellow source, it gains sec +1. And then at the end of your turn, you trash a tamer from its source. If no tamer was trashed, you delete the Digimon. His reasoning: as a certified dog, this is from Dong Jace. As a certified dog fan and in preparation for the inevitable Fenry Lugumon Takumi Kazuchi that will be gracing us in this set probably, I wanted to show off my take on this Digimon. We start with the cost. Initial requirements is to make it so that Shroudmon can be used, but in a pinch, like in the final fight, only Kazuchimon can be used. Then, just like in Seekers, spoiler, if you don't want to hear the spoiler, jump ahead about 10 to 15 seconds. Then, just like in Seekers, Leon comes back from death to make this Digimon, which is why this one can be added from trash, but also AG can be used, so you can use it in Kazuchi deck.
What if I didn't want to know about the spoilers, bro? How am I supposed to jump 10 to 15 seconds in the future? You ever think about that?
Sucks to be you.
What if I didn't?
It's okay. I was spoiled when I was reading it, so I had to spoil you as well. Then the second Digivolve effect can be triggered purely off of Digivolve or on play, and it's referencing Fenry's turn manipulation, so it makes sense. Then for the when attacking, it works like Gaiomon, so that if it sees the right colors, it gains the effects based on which one it has. Purple effect is referencing Fenry, yellow effect is referencing Kazuchimon, and then the end of turn reference is the cost of the Mind Link itself. For such a powerful Digimon, the timer for Mind Link would be so minuscule, so if no Digimon is trashed, the whole Digimon ceases to exist. So I definitely like this more than I like what we got. Unfortunately, this is not what we got, and we got to live with it. But that's why I chose this to be an honorable mention. And for our last honorable mention, Weaver 707 with Behemoth. Behemoth, for those of you who don't know, is the name. Behemoth, sorry.
Wow. What was that?
It's because it's because I see moth, so I'm like Behemoth. Behemoth.
I don't even got nothing to say about that one.
3-cost tamer. This is Beelzemon's motorcycle. 3-cost tamer. On play, trash top 3 cards to your deck. Then add 1 Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord in one of its traits from trash to hand. And then it has Mind Link with Beelzemon in name. And then inherited, it has Rush. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has Beelzemon in its name, you return up to 3 cards from trash to deck bottom. You gain 1,000 DP for each card returned. Lore-wise, it's Beelzemon's motorcycle. On play is it searching for its rider. Mind Link is simply for getting on and off. Inheritables lending to speed and strength to its rider. I like that. It's super simple. I think it's a great way to like kind of buff Beelzemon without making it busted. And the only thing I'd say is don't limit it to just Beelzemon. Make it, I don't even know if you can really do, I guess you can't do Balmon. So like lore-wise, it does make sense for it to be Beelzemon. Especially because you can play it out off of Balmons on deletion. But it's cool. It's cool. You play it out and then you Mind Link and then cool. Beelzemon now swings with his, depending on which one you do, only the EX2 trashes cards from top of deck. Maybe if this also had trash cards from top of deck. I don't know. I like the concept of it. Good.
No, I was gonna say I wish I would have seen that one earlier. I didn't see that one at all in the
that's
submissions.
Because you saw all the text and you decided to skip over everything that was text.
It's not even that much. It was when you look at Fenrir, there's a difference compared to that. There's a huge difference. I would have voted for that. Honestly, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really do like this one as a concept. Unfortunately, nobody else voted for it. So that's why I decided honorable mention. Because I do like the concept of it. Now, since we've now gotten through all of the honorable mentions, let's talk about winners, and we'll start from the opposite way. So, the first winner that we have is Chrome. Chrome, congratulations. Chrome won off of the backing of Gaiomon Fierce Blade Mode. Now, Gaiomon Fierce Blade Mode, I like his rendition of it. I would tweak it though.
Oh, that card's busted as fuck, but it was so cool I had to vote for it.
Right. I mean, I definitely think it's great. I think there's ways you can make it better without making it busted, though. So, it's a level 7, as we expect. It digivolves 3 from Gaiomon. All turns, trash. When your Gaiomon is deleted, by placing 1 Gaiomon from your trash as its bottom source, you may play this card from your trash without paying the cost. And then on play when attacking, once per turn, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13k DP or less. And then opponent's turn, this Digimon cannot be targeted when an attack target is switched by the effects of your opponent's Digimon, which means you cannot raid into it, which I kind of like. I like that effect a lot. The background on this, he says, the trash effect comes from how it came to be in the first place. Gaiomon attained this form after being deleted in battle and going through a training arc. So if your opponent deletes Gaiomon, this guy pops out to say hi and get revenge. On play when attacking is from his sword style that he uses, which is said to allow him to instantly cut down opponents without a sound or them even realizing they've been hit. So yeah, he attacks and things just die. Finally, the opponent's turn effect comes from a line in his description that states once FBM is prepared for battle, it's basically impossible to approach him without leaving some sort of opening. So I figured this could translate into him not being able to be raided to and things like that.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
As you two are the ones who know more about FBM lore, what do you think of that?
Sounds pretty lore accurate to me, realistically.
Yeah, I thought it was a great card. That's why I voted for it.
Yeah, I have voted for it.
My only thing is it would be hard to get that card in trash and archetype.
Right. So here's what I think. Instead of that effect, you make it when digivolving, when when it digivolving, when attacking, you pop 13k or less. And then not when it is deleted, but when it would be deleted, you digivolve into it, you prevent the deletion. And that's something that we see with the new BT17 Doru Gora line. They're able to do the same exact thing when it would be deleted, or maybe it's when it would leave I can't remember which one it is. I think it's when it would be deleted by an opponent's effect. When it
would be deleted, period. So like if you attack and it dies, you could just do it.
Oh, okay. They just digivolve into their dex forms from trash, which I find really cool. I had thought about this before that. So like now I'm like, all right, cool. Now this reinforces it. I'd make it before when it would be deleted. You just get to digivolve. You get the when digivolving. But then also I feel like I would tweak the when attacking to combo with, what's it called? The Metal Greymon from BT8 that you can swing over, or you can swing it to unsuspended Digimon. You just delete whatever Digimon it's battling. Like, to better reflect what it's able to do. If it's just able to instantly cut them down, forget about targeting deletion. When it swings into a Digimon, swoop, it just deletes that Digimon. No questions asked. We don't need any effects like ignoring protection because we don't need to be like Dragon Ball. So we don't need to be like ignoring barrier. So if they have protection, if they have like barrier or something, well, barrier doesn't matter because you're just going to delete them by effect anyways. It does nullify your attack. But I think that's a way that you don't make it, do I want to swing at security or do I want to swing into a Digimon? But then I do love the opponent's turn effect. But regardless, I really like this card. I saw things that could instantly make this card like I'd play this in the game, like for sure type thing. So that you can utilize it efficiently as a level 7 when your opponent deals with it. All right, cool. Just remember, I already put him in trash. Now, of course, I get, he only came about from going through that training arc. But realistically, like you said, there's no other way to get him in trash. So you might as well just make him a when digivolving.
Or you could say, like that same effect, except from your hand. Like when it dies, when Gaimon dies, you play it instead and you take the source.
Okay, yeah.
I just feel like from the hand is so crazy because it's not even like if it was an ace,
right?
I don't know. Right. There'd have to be some drawback from just right from the hand.
No, you're right. It could be, but they would have to introduce like a new window because it can't be counter timing. It would have to be like
it wouldn't be counter timing. It would be after it dies, then you play it out.
Yeah, but from hand, like
it's just so crazy. Yeah, I feel like
I see what you're saying though. I feel like that's a point of Digimon that we haven't necessarily gotten to yet, though. But regardless, I do like that. Chrome did have a secondary card. That card was Takuma Momozuka. If you haven't played Survive, this is one of the main characters. Starting your main phase. If you have
he is the main character.
All right, sorry. He is the main character. Him. He is the main character along with the ensemble cast. Start of the main phase, if you have another tamer with the survivor trait, gain a memory. On play, you activate one of the following effects. You either play an Agumon from your hand, or one of your Agumon may digivolve into a Greymon, Tyrannomon, or Tuskmon from your hand without paying the cost. And it costs 3 to play. So you said, this one was a little bit more simple, but I still thought it was real fun. The tamer has the survivor trait, and he simply gives you 1 memory. If you have another tamer out at the start of your turn that is also a survivor, since the whole thing about Digimon Survive is about, well, surviving.
Yeah.
So definitely got some couple votes for that. So shout out to Chrome. Fierce Blade mode is definitely what took it home for sure. Great card. I do like the effects regardless. And congrats. Our next winner was Law X. Law X had a plethora of good cards.
I love what he did.
I'm going to talk about the one that brought it home for me, which is Piedmon.
It better be Piedmon. Yeah, it better be Piedmon.
It's Piedmon. Piedmon is so good. It's a 13 cost to play, 4 cost to digivolve, 12k mega. Purple, of course. On play and when digivolving, return 1 option card with Trump Sword in its name from your trash to your hand. Why the fuck would you want to do that, you ask? Well, all turns, when opponent's Digimon is deleted, draw 1. Okay, cool. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when opponent's Digimon digivolves into a level 6 Digimon by trashing a Trump Sword from your hand, digivolve 3 to one of your opponent's Digimon.
That is straight up. That is straight up Digimon Adventure 01 lore right there.
That is lore accurate AF, and I love that it's facilitated in such a way that it's not busted, and it requires you to have the Trump sword in hand.
Yeah,
but you can facilitate its effect. Like I love everything about that.
I'm a big fan of it because it leaves like it's kind of like how Baggermon works, where like Baggermon in and of itself is a busted card because of its alternative effect, like when your opponent digivolves, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But because they have to resolve their effects first, like it leaves it open
makes it fair
for things to happen to the Piedmon still. You can get rid of the Piedmon, you can delete the Piedmon, tuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? So I like it for that.
Right, exactly. It's not busted. It's really good that if your opponent cannot deal with it, like a yellow deck, for example, if they can't deal with it before they go into their level 6, well, Paimon gonna throw his Trump sword at your ass. You get Digivolve 3. Start over.
For sure.
Like, I really love that. That's definitely what brought it home for me.
Hey, yo, if he would have had something that said like made your opponent into a keychain, that would have been crazy.
Make it into a keychain token, just like Sukamon.
That'd be some wild shit.
The other card that brought it home for him is an option card. Now, the reason I say that's why he won it off of Piedmon. We weren't accepting option card submissions because I'll be honest, I did not trust any of you guys to not make busted option cards. I figured somebody might do some dumb shit like, for cost to play, delete all your opponent's Digimon. Like, I didn't trust it, but this card was so good.
He made 3 in total options that were really good.
There were other good ones, but this card, when I talk about how do we support multicolor decks, this card for me is what brings that to light. So the card is called Digi Armor Energize, and it costs 3 to play. It's a delay option card. Its main effect is reveal top 5 cards of your deck. You add 2 with the armor form trait to your hand, bottom deck the rest, and then you place the card in battle area. Then when one of your level 3 Digimon attacks or is attacked, you can activate delay. You may digivolve one of your level 3 Digimon with the free trait to a Digimon card with the armor form trait without paying the cost. Lore accurate AF, and it's also a way to give really good consistency to the armor decks. The top 5 add 2 armor form because that's the thing the deck suffers from the most. Being able to consistently find its armor forms. That's why Magnamon is the armor deck right now, because it's all yellow or blue. So you can either play yellow or blue. Obviously, you're going to play blue base because Vmon, but you play your blue mental trainings and your blue memory boost. Otherwise, Lydramon is green blue. Flamedramon is
red blue.
Red blue. Yeah. What are the other Vmon armor forms?
The new ones we're getting, it's something like blue, red purple, or blue purple. I forget what he's. The Sagittariumon? Sethmon, that's what it is.
Is it Sethmon?
That's red and purple.
Red purple?
Yeah.
Which is a Vmon Digi-Evolution, yeah? You would know more about that.
That's the love one.
So obviously I just said that, Flamedramon is red blue and the other one is green blue. But I find that this is just a better way to support the consistency of the deck rather than just straight up using Mem Boost or the trainings. So I really like this, and the delay effect is also really nice because it really gives grounds to an armor rush deck. Like, okay, cool, Vmon's on the field. You attacking, buddy? Or I'm attacking? Digi Armor Energize! Like, I just love that. So that was another card for him. A card for Mike that Mike really liked, Duskmon. Or, I can't say it's our first, but a black hybrid. It digivolves 2 from Koichi Kimura or 1 from Veljamon. You may digivolve onto a black tamer, blah, blah, blah. When digivolving, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Simple enough.
Simple,
straight to the point. Black hybrid, and the design is sick as shit. Honestly, I know he didn't illustrate it, but like, good choice. Some of the other cards that definitely were cards that like I voted for, even though they were option cards. This is why I had a tough time because I was like, I know I didn't say option cards. Some of these cards were good. He had
the Dark Spores.
The Dark Spores. While you have Yukio or Malomyotis, reduce the cost by 1 for each tamer your opponent controls. Security is activate this card's main effect. Main, place this card under one of your opponent's Digimon or one of your opponent's tamers. It's a 5 cost to play, by the way. It's inherited. All turns, this tamer cannot activate start of your main phase and main effects, and cannot be treated as a Digimon.
So good.
It's lore accurate
AF, yep.
My only issue with this card is, as the opposing player, you cannot interact with this card, which is the problem.
So, you're playing Mallow. You're not a good deck. You're not a tier 1 deck. You need the help. You need the help.
That's not the excuse. For that same reason is why I said nobody makes option cards, because we now have the Dark Ring, another good one. But this one is, while you have the Digimon Emperor, you may ignore this card's color requirements and reduce play cost by 1. Security is activate this card's main effect. Main, place this card as the bottom Digi Evolution, one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon, and play that Digimon with all of its Digi Evolution cards on your battle area, and it gains Rush for the turn. And then security, inherited effect. All turns this Digimon gains minus 1,000 DP. Okay, cool. And cannot Digivolve. Oh yeah, nice. Security attack +1. What the fuck?
I think it's fair. It's fair.
On deletion, if you have Digimon Emperor, add the Dark Ring from this Digimon source to your hand. I told him, I was like, yo.
I think it's good. I think it's really good.
It's good, but there's no reason to give that bitch Sec +1 and Rush.
Well, I don't know how that would be in the sense of timing, because let's say if that Digimon's already on your side, on your opponent's side of the field, you activate a card, you keep turn. Would that be a situation where he's stunned? Why would it need Rush though? Can't you just swing with it anyways?
Because you play the Digimon.
Oh, because it says play. Okay.
So if it has on plays, you activate on plays.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. I still think it's pretty cool. I think it's relatively.
I like it.
You know how mad I'd be if someone stole my Digimon and then swung at me with it with security attack +1, bro.
Yo,
that's what I'm saying.
Mike, we lived through Snatch Steal and Change of Heart and Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't want to relive those moments, bro.
Bro, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, I'll be damned if my motherfucking, I don't know, my Gatomon, 5K Gatomon, my opponent steals it, now it's swinging at me 4K with Sec +1, but barrier. Fuck out of here. No Sec +1. I'm good with minus 1,000. I'm good with cannot Digivolve. I am not good with Sec +1. Rush, I'm okay with it. Whatever. It's Digimon Emperor. Those were 2 cards that helped a lot. He had some other submissions, but those were kind of the 4 that we really liked. But the one that won it was for sure Piedmon. Our next winner, we had Leppy. Good shit, Leppy. You had probably, honestly, I think this card's top 3 for me. I don't play green like that, especially insects, but I really love what Leppy did with Hercules Kabuterimon X. Ooh, boy, this card's great. Digivolves 1 from Herc. It costs 5 to Digivolve normally. It has piercing. Start of your turn, and when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of yours. If this Digimon was suspended, gain 3,000 DP till the end of opponent's turn. It's natively 13, so it bumps up to 16. End of your turn, if this Digimon has Herc or X Antibody as Digi-Evolution cards, this Digimon may attack an opponent's Digimon without suspending. And then all turns while it's suspended, it's not affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. I think that is such a good X Antibody. Whenever they inevitably bring out another Herc X, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Why isn't it like this? This is perfect.
As someone who's a resident bug player here nowadays, this would be crazy because you could do some crazy shenanigans, especially with its effect, especially with a combination with the Modimon. And return if this Digimon's bug swing. So with his own effect, suspend one of your Digimon, gains piercing plus 3K. So you're probably already, and it's cool he followed with a new line of effects where it was a lot of effects was plus 3K while suspended. It's unaffected by your opponent's Digimon effects. So it's not overly, this doesn't feel like a fake card per se, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the cool thing about it, you always want to be suspended with your with your bug stack, being able to swing at your opponent's Digimon while suspended is something that the deck could definitely use. I don't know if that will break it because of like a Tyrant commentary anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyrant commentary was a thing. I don't know if that could like, you know, break this type of card would break the deck and like be like super like tier 1. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. You have to have Herc or X Antibody in the deck, so it does force you to play that.
Sure, but Tyrant could just play. I think it was a Tyrant could just play.
It plays something reduces play cost by like 9. I think.
Yeah. So like, sure, just play this out and then put X Antibody underneath, and you're chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's at or is that when Digivolving, right?
I don't remember the effects right now. But I'm saying in general, like
it doesn't gain rush.
Obviously, it's not your turn that would happen. It will be next turn you set up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I think that's
fair.
But I think this card is like super, like really good, and like I said, something I could definitely see be a real card because the old Herc X, dog shit, dog water. No one wants to see it. It's terrible. I had it in there because I thought it was being cool, and I was like, yeah, this ain't it, Chief.
Old Herc X, Sec +1, and when Digivolving, bottom deck a suspended Digimon.
Which is not bad. When you put it like that, it's not bad when you hear it out.
That's all it does. What do you mean that's not bad?
Think about it like, you know, Sec attack +1, plus you're able to bottom deck anything that's suspended. Hercules, you know, suspends anything. Hydramon bottom decks all the time. So like
at the end of the turn, every
I understand.
turn.
I'm saying Miss Her West said earlier, it's, you know, on paper it sounds good, but it's trash still.
You couldn't sit here and tell me if we were going over an X record set, I would be like, nope, I don't want to hear it. But I do want to say that the Herc that we got in BT15, like, that's why I voted for this, because I was like, oh my good lord, like that literally is Herc plus the X antibody powers. Like that's just good. I can't even say anything else about that. It literally is just good. I love that. Now, another reason why you guys were not allowed to make option cards. Leppy made an option card. It costs 2. That card is called FTK. In SpongeBob words, it is called them kids. It stands for fuck them kids.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that card a lot.
This card says if your opponent has a tamer in play, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. Main. Mind you, this card costs 2 to play. If I haven't said that already, and I'm reiterating that. Main. Delete one of your opponent's tamers. Yes, correct. No cost. No. Just delete one of your opponent's tamers. If you did not delete a tamer by this effect, your opponent can't play tamers until the end of their next turn. And the picture for this is Monzemon bodying Takuya.
That is one of the most funniest gifs if you ever seen it. It's just him running to get the heart. Yo, this shit is so funny. But yeah,
this is why nobody is allowed to make option cards. Good card. I would have cost restricted it to 3 or fewer for costing 2, or make it cost 3 to delete 4 or fewer. But no, this is why we don't even enter this realm. Option cards. This is why we don't do option cards, because I can't trust some of y'all. This is, for me, this is bordering the realm of. And
Leppy is number 3rd on the list, right? He was 3rd place.
Yes. Fourth.
I'm sorry. Oh, yes. All right, cool. Panzer
Reason Leppy was 4th is because Panzer took 3rd, and Panzer took 3rd with an absolute banger of a card. So
love everything about it.
His card submission was Galacticmon Tail. The idea for Galacticmon Tail is phase 1 of the boss fight. You got to get through it to get to the main body, and the longer you do, the harder the fight. Now, this card does a lot, but I think it's a perfect way to make the deck good, right? It has blocker. It is a level 6. It costs 3 to digivolve, 10 to play, 10,000 DP. When digivolving, this Digimon may digivolve into Galacticmon from your hand or trash, ignoring Digievolution requirements. All turns, your Galacticmon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon, thank God. And then start of main phase, place up to 2 Vemmon from your trash under one of your Galacticmon. Good lord, could the deck use that? And then inherited, End of your turn, if this Digimon's name is Galacticmon, you may play one Galacticmon tail from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost.
Oof,
so
good.
You Digivolve this, then you Digivolve Galacticmon. Then at the end of your turn, you play this out. I'd probably make it end of your opponent's turn, but at the end of your turn, you play it out.
That's that card that the character from Liberators had.
Right.
That's how that man beat War Greymon right here.
Yeah.
Because Gaia Force, now they've got protection, but now they can't be affected by opponents' effects. So
I know Varney never beat Digimon World 3, so let me enlighten him on what Galacticmon Tail is and why this is so cool. Because Galacticmon was a phase, it was 3 phases. One was the tail, one was the body cannon or something like that. I don't remember. And then the other one was Galacticmon, basically. And so this was like the first like line of defense, I guess you want to call it. And it was hard as hell to beat him with just that. And then Galacticmon gets even harder. So the fact that he's like, you know, when Digivolving, go into a Galacticmon and then go into, you know, your Galactimon's in effect, and then you could play it out as a blocker. So he's like the first line of defense against a Galacticmon, I guess you could say. It's pretty cool. And being able to place Ventmon underneath sources. God, the deck desperately needs it, because like the moment you just lose your sources, well, the thing is because you have to bottom deck your Ventmon, so that kind of hurts. So like it doesn't feel as busted when you think about it more, because like, oh, it plays, geez, that's crazy. But like you always bottom decking when you use Galactimon's effects, so you're not having as many Ventmon and trash as maybe you want. But
there's no way to refill
there's sometimes some lingering, so you're able to at least start bringing it back for your Galactimon protection effects. I think it was pretty cool, and it's kind of perfect for what the deck kind of needs.
I agree heavy. I mean, I just think about like, I build one Galacticmon stack, and like I already got to start thinking about building a second Galacticmon stack, because inevitably they're going to deal with the first one. And I'm like, fuck, like I just might not have the resources to build a second stack in the card game. But a card like this, cool. I build my first stack, especially if I do it with Tail, then I now get to refill. I have a thing that can refill my sources. My opponent's got to deal with Tail if they want to try to deal with Galacticmon. I don't need to worry about building a second Galacticmon stack. My other Vemmons can serve their purpose and just load up the trash with more Vemmons. Like, I think Dan's right. I haven't beat World 3, but like I can only envision like this would make that deck play like it plays in freaking in the game.
He should be a giant final boss, like.
Yeah, straight up. That card for me, for sure, 100%. Now, a secondary card that Panzer submitted that was I really, really liked. Mitsuo Yamaki. 5-cost tamer. All turns, the player with the most Digimon in play may not play Digimon. The player with the highest level Digimon in play may not Digivolve Digimon.
So again, we know you never watched Tamers. No. So he's from Tamers.
I know he's from Tamers.
So I love this card so much because I love weird cards and weird interactions. And I did vote for this card. My only issue is this is such a SecCon card. It's not even funny. Like this is just such a
100%.
This is
You're
such
right.
a fucking
yeah. You are right about that. I mean, yeah. Nah, I don't disagree with you. It's definitely a card that would see instant play in a SecCon deck. And hey, maybe Yamaki's a SecCon player.
I did not vote for this card.
Panzer, you see where your allegiances lie.
Hey, I voted for the Galactic Tail for sure. I just think it just seems way too, for Digimon, it seems too crazy, I think, of effect.
I didn't think about it in like a SecCon use, but I just like the idea that, oh, cool, yeah. Like, you're playing Bloom. Hey, you can't play any more fucking Digimon. Fuck you, buddy. Or hey, you're a single stack level 7 deck. No more Digivolving, buddy. Like, worry about your one single ass stack there. That, like, I like that aspect of it. It helps in a way. It like helps slow decks down, especially being a 5-cost, because not every deck would play it. Then I think about SecCon, and you're right, Mike. That's a SecCon card,
yeah, 100%.
for sure. Like highest level Digimon in play, if your opponent doesn't fucking play Dexmon or they don't, drop a Magnology Ace, it's like the moment you Digivolve in level 6, your level 7 plays are shut off. And that's
ironically, like the moment your opponent has a level 3, they can't, let's say you have nothing on board, they can't Digivolve.
Yeah, right.
Like,
exactly.
I don't know. It seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So I mean, thinking about it, talking about it, but Panzer did win on Galactic Monster.
I mean, it's basically you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, Varney, but it's like Mystic Mine. So I just think of
all the fucking stories about Mystic Mine.
I just think of the absolute shenanigans this card could cause, like Mystic Mine did.
Nah, I agree.
Just no.
Mystic Mine
instant. Oh, we gotta ban this card. I could see it. Now, in second place, shout out to Bradio Active. Now, Brady had two absolute bangers of cards. The first one, I think almost everybody voted on that. Good Lord. Lilithmon X Antibody. When I originally saw this card, I was like, Brady, what the fuck? I was like, you did not just make this card. But the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could really vibe with this card. So, Lilith X. She's a 12k DP, 12 cost play, 4 cost Digivolve, 1 from Lilithmon. When Digivolving, start of main, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gain, end of your turn, delete this Digimon. That does exactly, I think that's almost exactly what the current EX6 Lilithmon
The new
does.
one, yeah.
But she only has it, I think, on when Digivolving, not as start of main phase. So the fact that this one has it on start of main phase, woof. All turns, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may return 1 purple option card from your trash to your hand. Okay. Okay. And then all turns, this Digimon gains all effects of Lilithmon in its sources. Good fucking Lord. So let me tell you what this Lilithmon is capable of doing. It synergizes so well with both. Well, we have 3 Lilithmons in the game now, but I don't acknowledge the cross.
No one acknowledged the
Bagger Army Lilithmon. So what this card is capable of doing, when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. That means off of that new Phantom Pain, 2 costs to play, right? It also, when Digivolving, you would get that Lilithmon effect. If you have 10 or more in trash, you return 2 option cards, 2 purple option cards to hand. And then the new Lilithmon, you're going to get the same when Digivolving, end of your turn, delete opponent's Digimon. All turns, when it would leave battle area, you pop a level 5 or lower to prevent it from leaving play, which is fucking insane. And then opponent's turn, when another Digimon is deleted, trash top card of your opponent's security stack. It gains all of that. Then the combos with Phantom Pain. End of your turn, delete this Digimon, place in battle area, end of opponent's turn. If you have Digimon with Lilithmon's name, delay, and then delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Reason I voted for this is because originally I was like, what the fuck? But then I thought about it, and I was like, well, the Elsa X is kind of insane in its deck, and Leviamon X is fucking cracked. This Lilithmon just follows along the trend. It still does the same dumb shit that those decks are doing, but in its own way. Leviamon X is out here popping Tamer 357. Beelzemon X is trashing 1 sec for every 10 cards in security. Let Lilithmon X do its busted ass shit and gain all of these effects and be an absolute goddess menace. Not goddess.
So, we were complaining about other cards being overly busted before. How is this not more busted than Victor Greymon Ace?
I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. But 3 people voted for it, so.
I didn't vote for it, but I did vote for Beelstarmon X.
There were 3 votes for this card, and yes, there was 1 vote for Beelstar X. Beelstar X, let's talk about that one. 4 from level 5, 1 from Beelstar. It has Rush. Your turn, once return, when you would play a Digimon with the 3 Musketeers trait, reduce play cost by 1 for every 2 3 Musketeers, and option card with a cost of 7 in your trash. Then on deletion, by trashing an option card with a cost of 7 from your hand, return a Digimon with the 3 Musketeers trait from trash to hand. This one is not nearly as busted, and this one is just good. Like, this one is just good card. Mike, can you elaborate on how you'd play this in your jank Beelstar deck that is coming out to YouTube soon? Wink, wink.
My Beelstar Cope deck?
Your Beelstar Cope deck?
Yeah, so basically, this is kind of just like a good finisher card for the deck. You play your Beelstarmons, then you chain it, so you get Rush. Then you can just keep popping the board by just continue lowering the play cost. Honestly, there's a lot of different ways you can do, because if it's on deletion, you get kind of crazy, and you could really, like, you could calling this card and then do some nutty stuff with it. Like you calling it, Yeah. Like, there's a lot of different ways you could do it just by looking at it. I wish it was a real card so I could actually do craft with it.
I'm going to call Mike out here. Mike did vote for Lilithmon X. So
don't let them know.
Lilithmon X won because 3 people voted for it. And I can tell you those 3 people are sitting here right now. And we all said that this card is busted. But we all agree that this card probably deserves to do what the fuck this card is going to do.
I just like that archetype. I think it's cool.
I really do like the archetype, and I can't wait till EX6. I know like 7 Great Demon Lords is kind of doing stuff, but not doing stuff right now. Nobody's playing Lilithmon as it's on its own, so I'm excited to see if anybody does going into the later weeks of those formats. Now, for our first, what would essentially be first place, and this was first place by general consensus, and that's why this person was first place with an overwhelming, like, not even like, there wasn't even a fucking doubt. Like, this was within
no contest.
No contest. This is our boy Gino. No, we promise we are not biased, but this is our boy Gino from Locals. Y'all know him as Cyberphile. I'll say it. He's the one who gave us the idea for this contest to begin with. But he had some fucking bangers of cards.
And what he thought about
the card that won it for him was V-Tamer Tai Kamiya, which got 4 votes, which was the only card out of all the submissions to get 4 votes, 1 from everybody. And that is why he won. He's the
I didn't vote for the one card. I just said Gino. That was it.
I think you might have said V-Tamer, and then you said the rest of the line.
Yeah, because I said V-Tamer. I read everything. I was like, yeah, just V-Tamer stuff.
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to read the entire line here. So we're going to start with the level 2. Level 2, it's a V-Pet. This is your Digi-Egg. Breeding, start of your main phase. You may place 1 tamer with V-Tamer in its text from your trash or battle area on top of this Digi-Egg to activate that tamer's on-play effect. Breeding, start of your turn. Place the top card of this Digi-Egg to the battle area. Okay.
Fair card, doesn't seem overly busted.
Let me read V-Tamer.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to level 3 first.
I would, but let's talk about V-Tamer since V-Pet interacts with it. Start of your turn, it's a memory tamer. On play, activate one of the following effects. Play 1 level, because you're not digivolving, right? So activate one of the following effects. Play 1 level 4 or lower with 0 in its text without paying the cost. One of your Digimon with 0 in its name may digivolve into a Digimon with 0 in its name from your hand with the cost reduced by 1. And then all turns, if this Digimon has future mode in its name, when it would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, by playing this tamer from its sources, prevent it from leaving. All right, cool. Now let's get to the level 3. Gabumon. On play, reveal top 4 to your searcher. Add 1 Digimon card with 0 and trash 1 tamer V-Tamer. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. All turns, this Digimon may not digivolve or attack. And then you've got your level 4 Vidramon 0. On play, trash top 3. Then you may place 1 tamer with the V-Tamer in its text from your trash on top of 1 V-Pet in your breeding area to activate that tamer's on-play effect. When attacking, once returned, trash the top 3 cards to your deck. You guys are seeing a trend here, right? Level 5, Arrow V0. When digivolving, trash top 3. Then if you have V-Tamer in play or in your breeding area, this Digimon gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. All turns when this Digimon would become suspended, by bottom decking 3 non-Digi-Egg cards, unsuspend this Digimon. So it's worded weirdly, but it's effectively an unsuspend. Now we've got level 6, All Force 0. When digivolving, trash top 3, then gain 1 memory for each tamer, V-Tamer in its text in play. If you gain at least 2 memory by this effect, unsuspend. Then when attacking, you place a V-Tamer Tai from play as its bottom source. Then it may digivolve into future mode from your hand without paying the cost. Future mode.
Now we're getting
level
spicy.
7. It costs 5 to digivolve from All Force. When digivolving, trash top 3. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to the play cost of a card in your trash to their hand. Then return that card in your trash to the bottom of your deck. I like that a lot. Makes it very temperate to do that play. Then all turns once returned, when a card is returned to the bottom of your deck, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Not busted. Just solid. Guys, you guys are the ones who read V-Tamer. Tell me what you think of. Oh, wait, sorry. I got 2 more. Sorry.
You got 2 more tamers.
We got Rei Saiba. On play, by returning 3 non-Digigeg cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck, recover 1. It is V-Tamer in traits. Neo Saiba, also V-Tamer in traits. On play, trash top 3 cards of your deck. Guys, as the ones who read V-Tamer, what do you think about the line?
I mean, I love V-Tamer in general, so this kind of stole my heart when I saw a full V-Tamer line that was actually good and playable, unlike the promos we got in the past. I love the V-Pet as the egg. I think it's really cool and unique. My only thing I wish, I mean, I like the whole deck. I love that the Gabumon is there. That's like his companion throughout the entire fucking show, or manga, I should say. I like it a lot. Rei Saiba is pretty busted though, for just the on play, just recover one. I feel like other than that, they're pretty good. Like they're all good cards.
I mean,
I like it.
You'll only get it like one. I mean, I guess I could see how that's busted.
You grab it from the V-Pet a lot, probably.
But then you have to choose, right? Like if you do it off of V-Pet, like you're gonna want V-Tamer to facilitate a lot of your early game plays. Digimon Zero, you might want that so that you can either get more or get more things on board or be able to Digivolve for cheaper. Rei definitely seems like a piece that would be played, but how often, especially because it bottom decks 3 just like the rest. All 4 zeros trash 3 or
they're all trash 3.
The all trash 3, most of them are bottom deck 3 to maintain their effects. So it's kind of like parity. So it's kind of like choose which effects you want to proc.
For sure.
I don't think I could see how it could be busted, and in something like maybe SecCon.
That's I was more so referring to it outside of this.
Right,
archetype.
Exactly. You know, if it would,
Yeah. What's cool about it as well, fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to take it, it stays with the line with the promo Zero stuff. So a lot of it is like bottom deck 3 cards to draw, or bottom deck 3 to gain a memory with, I think, like the Arrow Vidra. I know Vidra Zero, when attacking, trash 2 cards, I want to say, when attacking, something like that. And then like an inheritable is bottom deck 3 to draw 1, I think it is, something like that. So he stays in line with
Digimon Zero.
Yeah, the original promo stuff.
If you have a blue tamer, trash top 3 to give it 2K.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it is.
Place 3 from bottom deck. Place 3 from trash to bottom deck to draw 1.
Right. So you have that, the Arrow Digimon Zero as well, which has another
Arrow Digimon Zero is trash. It's the same thing, but for only DP inheritables.
Yeah. And then you have the opposite O-Force. So he stayed in line with what we already had when it comes to the Zero stuff, and then just added a top of it. And
made it better. Yeah.
Made it better.
Yeah, 100% better. Especially Tai Kamiya, the V-Tamer. So good. Solid memory tamer. Being able to play 1 level 4 level Digimon Zero's name. So, I mean, including that one, that's a play cost 6 if you need to, for whatever reason, play it. Also, your Digimon can Digivolve with a reduced cost. And then, obviously, he has the protection. It's not just a deletion protection, it's anything protection, basically. So that's pretty good. You can probably, I don't know if you'll be able to stack them, but you're able to at least probably do it consistently with the V-Pad inheritable, a V-Pad effect, I think, possibly. And Digimon Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely interesting.
This V-Tamer tie is definitely better than the one we got. Like, it's cool that like they acknowledged V-Tamer in the card game, so you know at some point we will get more V-Tamer.
No, I mean, this is 2 different cards. One it was just a draw. One's a 2-cost draw or a plus 1K DP. That's all it is.
Right, but what I'm saying is like I like that they acknowledge, like they made these cards, like the Zero cards and V-Tamer, in the card game. So like at some point, they should release new ones. But that being said, the ones that they gave us are fucking trash. I mean, let's just be honest.
Zero line,
even V-Tamer, like there's such a stark difference, and you look at them, you're like, oh, cool, I get to draw 1 or gain 1,000 DP. Meanwhile, this one that Gino's concepted, play 1, 0, level 4 or lower, or Digivolve, reducing cost by 1, and then it's got protection for future mode, obviously, because, you know, I assume future mode was a big part of that manga. And it's not even a busted level 7. Like I said, I like that it bottom decks the card that you use to bottom deck one of your opponent's cards. Or actually, it's return it to their hand, so it's not even bottom deck. You bottom deck a card, you bounce it to hand. If you have, a 12 cost All Force, you have to bottom deck that All Force, then you might not be able to bottom deck another level or play cost 12 or lower. So it's really tempered in that way. And then it's just, a nice 15k beat stick. At that point, that when you bottom deck cards, you trash security. So it's air quote sec +1 without checking that extra security. Works off of the rest of the line.
Remember, that's all turns. So you can also trash cards on their turn as well, which is probably possible. I was paying attention fully on their effects, but
yeah, Arrow V0.
Oh yeah, Arrow
when it becomes
all turns
suspended by bottom decking 3, you unsuspend. Doesn't have blocker.
I think you could give him blocker, right?
No.
Yeah, Arrow V0 gains blocker to the end of your opponent's turn.
Oh, blocker to the end of turn.
So if you get the future,
it's like a one-time thing. But
if you get up to future mode, you can definitely trash on yours turn, and you can definitely trash on your opponent's turn. That's what I'm saying. So you can definitely give a blocker. So that's you swinging, trash one. That's 2 checks, 2 security. Probably trash on your opponent's turn, and while blocking as well, you're trash. That's another trash, and you're just set up for an OTK potentially next turn.
Now, how does that fit in line with the lore of V-Tamer for somebody who hasn't read?
Mike?
Without spoiling.
Like the trashing, like what?
No, just the idea of the line, like what the line facilitates and who Neo and Ray is.
So Neo's the main villain, kind of. He's who we're presented as like the main villain, but he's not really the main villain. Like there's someone else pulling the strings, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I never really like. It's hard to say. Like, I don't really know what Bandai was doing when they originally introduced like the returning cards to the deck for future mode, like All Force. In the manga, when we get introduced, I'm trying to think how to talk about this without spoiling it.
I mean, the manga is in the 90s. So it's not
it came out.
Spoiler part if you want to read it, jump ahead. Go ahead, Mike. Just lay it on us.
But like, it's hard to like. So pretty much, All Force Digimon Future Mode is just busted as fuck in the manga. When he comes out, he kind of just. I guess being able to like the return is nice. Like his like send back to the deck is nice. I don't know how in line it really is with the manga though. But it's in line with the like designs we already have, I guess, for it, if that makes more sense.
Right.
Like we already like from what we have for it in the card game. It makes sense,
Right. Like Dan said, just working off of what we already have, but without doing anything extra or introducing new concepts that are like, oh my good lord, that's busted, kind of thing. Like,
yeah. So like in the manga, All Force goes like starts to be deleted or whatever, kind of. But like future mode, like the overwrite sequence happens or whatever, and he like comes back as future mode basically.
Right, so that's where the protection comes in, and that's why it becomes important. That's because of that happens.
So I mean, I don't think we can have like a direct correlation of like the trashing cards, because that's like that's just the game mechanic.
Yeah,
but the effects that it facilitates. All Force going into what's it called? All Force 0 digivolving into future mode. What is it? It does that when
attacking.
It's just the one attacking. Okay.
Yep.
When attacking, you place V-Tamer from source, and then you digivolve into future mode without paying a cost. So just pure future mode fodder, and then gets into your future mode. I thought the line was super cohesive. I've never read V-Tamer. I will at some point.
I recommend it. Yeah, that's good.
I definitely will at some point. But this got a consensus because Adrian, I believe Adrian doesn't read, but I believe Adrian has also read V-Tamer.
He doesn't read. I yelled at him to read it because Ulforce was his favorite. I don't know if he started to or not.
Well, I don't know, but he knows about Future Mode, and it's like one of his, like, he also likes Future Mode, and that's why he voted for it as well. Well, he voted for V-Tamer tie, but when you know about one, you know about them all, kind of thing. Like, and so this was the consensus vote. This was the one that won it. Now, before we end pod, I have just 2 more honorable mentions, and they're not honorable in that they're honorable. They're honorable in that I'm going to say, what the fuck were you thinking? Coach, you created
the Biozamon card?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was like ridiculous. Coach,
I don't even know how to, I'm going to butcher this, but Berenjenha, Berenjena, Berenjena, whatever.
It was the guns of
this is why we don't allow you guys to create option cards. This is a 5 cost to play. When this card, Mike, listen, okay? When this card is trashed,
I know, I've read the cards.
When this card is trashed from your deck, you may place it in a battle area. Okay, that's not bad. Main, place 4 cards from your hand on top of your deck. Then place this card in your battle area. Oh, okay. Start your turn. Mill top 4 cards of your deck. Then place this card in your trash. What the fuck? What? And okay, that's not enough, right? Security. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, then place this card in your battle area. Coach, what in the... This is why you guys aren't allowed to make option cards, because this is insane. Like, there's ways that you can make this actually tempered and good. This is... I'm just... Oh, cool. I've got Death Slinger, Rivals, Bielzamon in hand. Well, I'm going to put those 4 cards to the top of my deck and play this card. Now this card costs 4 to play because I just milled a Death Slinger. I also got a Rivals Barrage and I got to pop one of my opponent's Digimon. What the fuck? This card is an honorable, non-honorable mention. Coach, no. This is a card we will never, ever see. An honorable, somewhat non-honorable mention. This one was tempered. This was Brady's 3rd submission. It's Caesarmon X Antibody. When Digivolving,
yeah, I saw. Yep.
Until the end of your opponent's turn, none of their Digimon with the virus trait can attack. And then when attacking, all your opponent's Digimon get minus 1,000 DP until the end of your turn. Their turn, sorry. For each turn this Digimon has remained in play, increase the DP of this effect by 1,000. I thought that was like super unique. I couldn't vote for it because I was very tight on voting. But I definitely like this effect. I like the idea that we might get things like this in future, kind of like Final Turn in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Is that what that thing was called when you play out?
Final Countdown?
Final Countdown, there we go. Yeah. Where like for the amount of turns, like obviously it's not like, oh, like you win after X amount of turns, but for each turn that it remains in play, like it's just gaining value for remaining on the board.
You get the look, bro. That was a whole ass deck for a little bit with Mystic Mind. You play the Mystic Mind Final Countdown deck, bro. You play the Caesarmon. And what was the other tamer? The Caesarmon and the Mitsuyo deck. Just lock your opponent out of the game and just give them minus 1k DP every turn. Yeah.
Another one. I know we're running out of time, but Kota Hirose, who Adachi made. I thought that was a really cool option. Your turn by suspending this tamer and playing... Oh, it's a tamer, my fault. By suspending this tamer and playing 1 Guilmon from your trash to your breeding area, one of your Digimon with Groudmon in his name may digivolve into a purple Skull Greymon, or its Digivolution requirements. The Digimon is deleted at the end of the turn, which is pretty cool because that was... In next order, the Kota tamer, who was a Guilmon tamer, kind of like similar to Tai. He kind of forces his Groudmon to try to Digivolve, and then he ends up going to Skull Greymon. Spoiler for Mike. And that happened, so it was a pretty cool tamer, I thought.
I'm sorry, Mike. Me and you both, buddy. Me and you and both in the same boat. More me than you, though, because I haven't watched any of the movies, so technically, like, everything's spoiled.
That's not our fault that you haven't watched the movies.
Facts.
I'm appalled still that you haven't at least seen the first Digimon movie. I could understand you not watching the rest, but the first Digimon movie, that's insane.
I'm gonna get through them all at some
You haven't
point.
even watched Try.
Oh no, I did watch Try. The abomination that was Try, yes.
I won't even let you call it an abomination because you don't even know what the other Digimon movies are like. You have nothing to compare it to.
I have it to compare to itself. I like Try, and then I also hate to Try. But then you guys are going to kill me for this one. I haven't watched Last Evolution Kizuna yet.
I'm not shocked at this point anymore. I mean, like, at this point, it does not affect me.
Like, I wanted to, I haven't had the chance to, so I just never did.
Anyways,
that is it. I know this was way longer than almost any other podcast we've done. We just had a lot of cards to go through. We hope you guys enjoyed the giveaway. One like that to come in the future when we hit 1,000 for sure. I don't know if we'll do the same thing. We might change it up. Don't know. We'll talk about that when we get there. But thank you guys for all the submissions. Congrats to all of our 6 winners. I will be reaching out to you and facilitate you getting your prizing. For those of you who didn't win, chins up. We got more to come. Don't you worry. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. So we love you guys. Thank you for listening. And until we talk to you guys the next time.
Peace.
Peace out.
Catch you on the next one.